What up, peeps? Welcome to the Podcast. I'm your host, John Telewa, aka the Kiss Bandit. And in this show, we explore the key elements that shape our fulfilling existence, from health and well being to financial success, meaningful relationships, and the pursuit of happiness. We cover it all. Our guests include experts, professionals, and everyday individuals who have remarkable stories to tell. Tune in to learn practical tips, gain valuable insights, and discover strategies for personal growth and transformation. Whether you're seeking to improve your health, build your wealth, enhance relationships, or find lasting happiness, we got you covered. Welcome to today's episode. So another amazing episode with a very special guest. So welcome to the show. Thanks for coming through.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So before we start off with anything, just tell the people your name, what you do, and then I'll take it from there.
Okay, my name is Kirstein. I am a content creator. And I'm also a business lady. I sell custom-made tote bags. Yeah.
That's it.
Students. Yeah.
Okay. How comes you've left out acting?
Oh, yeah. And I'm also an actress.
Wow.
It's just that I've not been on stage for long now. So, yeah.
So growing up, what were you trying to pursue, like just as the end goal, like work-wise? Because, we always have like those dreams. Maybe it was like being a teacher, a doctor, engineer.
Growing up, I've always wanted to be an actress. That has been my dream for the longest. And maybe let's say to become a big star or celebrity. That's why I took the path of becoming a content creator. So, yeah.
Wait, so how comes you're not, like, even on the list when I asked you about like just the things you do, like acting was the last thing. In fact, I reminded you to mention it. Yet that was like your childhood like dream. Does that mean like,
It's just that I've not been getting so many acting opportunities lately, and the auditions I've been going to haven't been successful. So I don't want to say I'm kind of killing that dream, but it hasn't been looking so good on that side. That's why I've not been focusing on it that much.
Is it that hard to get in the industry?
Yeah.
Acting?
Yeah, it is. On the mainstream, it is. Yeah.
Oh, wait, like what have you tried that didn't work out? So they always need like extras, I'm sure, or you can get a mentor.
Yeah, I have. I've tried stage acting, theater. I've gone for auditions. I've been an extra in many of the productions that have been there, but none really that are actually promising.
Why do you think that's the case?
Yeah, why do I think that's the case? I really don't know. I think that the film industry in Kenya, I don't know, it's like they have specific people that they will love on the screen or something. So when you go there and they don't know you, it's very hard for you to get like a good job or a space in the acting industry in Kenya. Yeah.
Are there people maybe like your age mates, friends who maybe have taken like the route in acting and it has worked out for them?
I know of a few, but not that much. Let's say friends of mine who we used to act with in campus, they've tried the same thing that I've been doing, going for auditions, being extras in productions and all of that, but they haven't really gotten the chance to be featured in shows in Kenya and all that. Yeah.
Okay, so that's another question. I have a lot of questions, but we have to warm up into the conversation.
Okay.
We can't just start from the word go with everything.
Okay.
So anything that you can talk about, you just feel comfortable to talk about. And of course, also, I might have like, a difference in opinion in some things.
Yeah.
And of course, just feel free to tell me like I'm wrong.
I know.
All right, but make sure you keep your opinion like, the same way you feel, and you want to address something, make sure you stick to your guns, right?
Okay, I will.
Okay, and then where did you grow up?
I grew up in Nairobi, Buruburu. Yeah, I've been born and raised in Buruburu.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Both parents or
Yeah.
single parent?
Both parents.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I see, like, where the confidence is coming from. We see it online. And guys are like, okay. So did your parents always, like, kind of teach you to be confident and just express what you feel like from a young age?
No, not really. I kind of feel like maybe it's the situations that I have gone through that have forced me to become the person that I have, going through experiences in school and everything at home also. And they just force you to toughen up. And I'm the firstborn in our family, so it's like I have no choice. Yeah.
How many siblings do you have?
I have two. I have one sister and one brother.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, were you always tall? Because you're actually very tall. Were you always tall even as a kid?
Yes, I was. Yeah, and we have been the tallest in our class. I've always been tall. I'm 5'8".
Yeah, that's actually quite tall.
Yeah.
And is that like just something that, because I don't know, at times like there's so many other kids maybe who get bullied because they are tall, and people are just all, kids, and it's not really bullying, it's just playing around because they're like, hey, you look different and stuff. Did you ever go through that cafes? People were like just around you, like just...
I'm telling you, that being tall, being dark skinned, all of that, I
Yeah.
have gone through it. But just like I've said, they have forced me to become the person that I am. So I have to put on a tough personality. Immediately somebody starts getting into my height or my skin, I clap back with something
Immediately.
else.
Okay, and then in school, like, are there any like co-curricular activities you're good in? Did you engage in sports, school debates, maybe choir, music?
Actually, I was into drama mostly. Yeah, drama, acting, drama festivals. I used to do choral verses.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all that. Just that.
Did you ever get to nationals? Because I think even Buruburu was also always good in, I can't remember what they were good in, but I remember they always used to get to like semis or finals depending on those.
Actually, I actually got so serious with the drama till when I got into university, Mount Kenya University. We got into nationals. I've ever won Best Actress for my school.
Really?
Yeah, it was actually really nice.
And then now, like, especially because I know school is also kind of different. When you participate in something, you get a trophy, you get a certificate and everything. Okay, maybe you go to uni. It's almost the same. Wait, what, are you done with uni? Or are you still doing?
No, I'm not yet done.
Oh, okay.
I'm in my second year.
In your second year?
Yeah.
Oh, you're just a baby.
Yeah.
What? Okay. So you have like 2 more years left?
Yeah, I have 2 more years left.
Okay. Yeah. So like, I think also now another cross of realities, like when you're in school, like, you get trophies and certificates for everything that you're participating in.
Yeah.
But on the outside world now, where you need to be maybe compensated or paid or even been featured in something else, have you noticed like it's a little bit different, like the same way you're trying to get into acting, you're like, oh, so it's not as easy maybe as I used to think. So like, what are some of the challenges you can say you faced trying to adjust now to the real world a bit?
Trying to adjust to the real world. Let's say when you work with some people or you work with some productions, they might fail to pay you, or rather the amount of work that you're putting in isn't the same amount of money that they will love to pay you. You get, and it expects so much, especially when it comes to, let's say, rehearsals. They expect you to go for rehearsals every single day, every single night, and they're not offering anything. Unlike school, in school, when you act in school, at least when you go out for nationals per day, you're paid that little bit, like 1,500 shillings. But in the real world, it's not like that.
It's different.
Yeah, you might do work for nothing sometimes.
I actually always try and tell people that, okay, of course I know with Gen Z it's slightly different. Nobody wants to do anything for free.
True.
But unfortunately, in the market and the industry, you'll notice also it's very, very competitive. And what you'll say no to, a lot of other people will say, like, you know what, me, I'll just do it for free.
Just do it for free.
Because let's say you do come from middle class or low class, family.
Yeah.
And then you have a rich kid. They don't need money to act.
True.
If they're passionate about acting, so they'll just come and act for free. They'll be like, hey, you just put me there. I'll do it for a whole year. But you see, now they gain experience
Yeah.
when you said no to something else. Of course, I understand maybe you need money and stuff, but I think it's always also good to weigh the situation, understand how competitive the industry is.
Yeah.
And then at least you can volunteer service just a bit, not for too long.
Yeah.
Not for too long. Okay, and then also like another thing, just your content creation journey, because I've noticed like, you've gained a lot of traction online.
Yeah.
You're building a nice audience and people are following and interacting with you.
Yeah.
Like, is there a place like maybe when you're starting to build like your social media and you're trying to figure out like what kind of content should I post that people gravitate towards? Did you have any problems trying to figure out like your lane?
Yeah, I did actually. I had friends who had already started content creation earlier, and they were telling me so many things. You have people telling you have to look for a niche, you have to have your own niche. Other people are telling you do not concentrate on the niche, do different things. I started doing a different kind of content. People are telling me no, that content is too negative. It is chasing away certain kind of people. So I was like, oh my God, I'm tired of listening to you people. I'll just be myself. If I get those brand deals, if I don't get them, as long as I'm doing it by being myself, I have all the satisfaction that it has. But before I got to this point, it was really hard because my content was all over the place. I was doing things. I think I was doing things to please people, and I was also listening to people who had succeeded in it before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And any mentors who guided you, like just finding your lane, like people you went to for advice, because you're saying like you were a lot of different opinions were coming your way, but there are some people who like maybe guided you with advice that has helped you now, like just even when you're creating content.
If there are people who have helped me, I can say there's this creator called Elvis. It's Elvis. He's one of the people who have been with me in this journey. He has constantly helped me and telling me, "Oh my God, don't listen to the haters." He has been a big part of me actually succeeding in this thing, because there are times that I was feeling, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing, but he was telling me just do it, just continue doing it. Yeah.
Okay, and then now like another thing is, I know you've said multimedia, right?
Yeah.
So what made you go with that course
Oh,
instead of anything else?
what made me go with that course?
Yeah.
Actually, I did journalism.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I did journalism in mass communication and mass communication. I went to that course because I felt like it would help me, even if I won't get a job in the media space in Kenya, I would at least be able to create for myself a platform in the social media and all that. So that was the main reason as to why I did that course. Just so that I can create a space for myself in the social media.
What exactly do they teach? I don't know, honestly. It might sound dumb, but what exactly do they teach? Because like maybe, there are other content creators who haven't gone to uni and they seem to be like just, also shooting and editing. But what exactly do you learn like now in such a school?
I've learned a lot about camera operations. They teach a little bit about film also. You don't have to take the entire course. They teach a little bit about film. Laws in the content creation space, in the media space as a journalist. Yeah, and things like that.
Okay. So now I know I've seen you doing like, you used to do skits a lot,
Yeah.
but you no longer do skits anymore, which is more aligned to your acting. So what I've noticed is more now like, what would you call it? Like speaking out, maybe reviewing of current events and news maybe, and just giving people like your own personal opinion on things that are happening.
Yeah.
So what made you prioritize more on that? Is it because of the views instead of like now something that you're more passionate about, which is definitely acting, because you've done it like since being a child? Is it the views that made you like now lean more towards?
No, it's not the views. It's actually my phone. I do not have a good phone for filming all that right now and editing. Yeah, I have an Android. I admit it's not that good, so
it's not a joke when you're posting the memes and you guys are going back and forth with each other.
Yeah, for real. Like right now, I'm actually focusing on giving the reviews about current events and speaking about things and not doing clips, because you cannot, if you do those clips with low camera quality, people will not pay attention to it. And then TikTok has this thing where if you have a bad camera quality, it will not push your videos.
Really?
Yeah, so your skits will just go to waste.
I didn't know that, by the way.
Yeah, for real. So if I get a friend of mine who has an iPhone, I call him once, I tell him, hey, let's shoot this skit, and that's it. But as per now, because he's also in school, I just do videos, just me talking, because if I'm saying something that if I say something that people relate to, even if I have bad camera quality, people will listen and TikTok will push my content. So until I get a good phone, I'll go back to making skits.
Actually, that makes sense. That makes sense. But even with that being mentioned, and I'll relate it to something else that you posted, because you said, like, if your friend is away, you don't get to do the skits because of, like, just the phone quality. Does this mean you have, like, a small friendship circle?
Oh, I have a friend called Bruce. He's the one who usually does my recordings for me. He has an iPhone. He's like the one, if let's say a brand wants me to do a video for them, I can't do them with my phone. I call him and he comes and records it for me. But mostly I'm usually on my own.
Really?
Yeah, it's usually just me and my sister all the way.
Well,
and
what
Bruce.
happened with girlies and friends? Because girls nowadays, they move in, like, there are cliques, like me and my girlies, we're doing this and then.
Okay, those cliques are nice, but I've had the experience of having a large number of female friends, and it did not go well, let me say, because some female friends, I'm telling you, they can really, I don't know, there's usually some kind of jealousy, competition, and I don't like that, I don't usually like that. So until I find a friend who is confident in what she does and confident in what I do, then we can be friends. But as per now, it's just me and my sister.
Right. So now you don't have a female friend. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Right now, I do not have a female friend.
Not
it's
even
just my
one?
Sister. It's just my sister.
No, your sister is your sister. She's not a friend. That's like, it's like a mother saying, like, my daughter is my friend. No, that's your daughter. I mean, regardless.
No. Yeah, it's just my...
So no bestie, female bestie that you can do makeup together with, because, like, okay, male can be, it could be a male friend, but, you can't do like the normal, you can't do dress up and makeup and, just the girly things maybe.
Oh, I don't. Maybe friends that I don't have like a best friend. Let me say, like, maybe friends that are far away from where I live and we talk once in a while. Yeah, I have those kind of friends. But close friends, I really do not have close friends.
Do you think it's hard for you to make friends?
It's not hard for me to make friends. I just feel like I have a lot of discernment. And
what does that mean?
Discernment.
Not for me. For people who will be in the comments like,
being able to tell when somebody is for you or not for you, or being able to tell between good and bad, or somebody's energy towards you. Yeah. You can be able to discern something. You can be able to tell when something is good for you and when something is not good for you. So most of the time when I invite somebody to be friends with me, I get this off feeling, this negative energy from them. And it's just like, I'm just trying to be your friend. Why are you hitting me for no reason and all of that? So yeah, until
but
now.
Until now?
Oh yeah, so until now, I've just decided to put a pause on having friends and just, let me say, build myself up a little bit. Maybe along the way, I will get genuine friends.
So you don't get that feeling from your male friends?
Oh, I actually do not have male friends also.
What?
Really don't. For real.
Yo, wait. Wait. How is this possible?
Hey, I don't know how to say it, but I also do not trust males that much, Yeah, I don't trust males that much, especially my male friends. Yes, I do have, like I've said, I have friends that we don't talk that much, but we talk once in a while, but they're not close friends. Yeah, not close friends.
You can't share, like, just like a day's experience. Today had experienced this and any.
No. That I tell it to my God.
Right. So why do you think? Why do you think it's hard for you to make friends? Are you the one who scares them away? First of all, you already said, like in one of your videos, you just cut people off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm just going according to like what you posted. So, do you think it's you or it's them? Because you can't just say like everybody's bad.
Yeah, I can't say everybody is bad. Maybe I'm the problem because I have like this obsession of wanting to be by my own all the time. I feel like I function so much better when I'm on my own without the influence of so many people telling me what to do and having an opinion on what I'm doing. So that's why I think it's the obsession of just wanting to be in my own circle that makes me just push people away.
But do people want to be friends with you?
Yeah, yes, they do.
And then what happens? What do you tell them?
What I tell them, I just tell them I'm really bad at communication, first of all. I am. It's not a lie. I am really bad at communication. And if you want to keep up a good friendship, especially people who really want to be friends with you, they'll want to invite you to places, they'll want to tell you how their day has gone, or and I'm usually really not down for that because I wouldn't even want to tell you how my day has gone. So maybe having bad communication skills.
Is it that you don't want to be vulnerable with someone, like tell them about you?
No, not really. I just don't feel. I've never felt the need to be that close to someone. Yeah.
Okay, so how do your relationships work then? Or how is your relationship working?
Funny thing. I've only been in only one relationship, and I walked away from that one because of the same reason. And it's just I've dated once. Yeah, my entire life. Relationships also, they do not work for me. Yeah.
When you are like in high school,
it's still in campus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it didn't work, so I had to walk away from that just to be by myself.
Okay.
So I don't like being in relationships. I don't date that often. Also, yeah.
Do you crave? Is it something that you'd want at some point?
Okay, let's
Want
say
someone to hug you, kiss you goodnight, maybe?
Yeah, I know. It
Surprise
sounds so
you with
good.
presents?
I know, but when you think of it, it's not like it's every day. Somebody will be there for you, and you'll be feeling nice. So
They will be if you're staying together.
if you, I just feel like
You cook them breakfast.
it sounds good, but I just feel like that is not what I want for myself at the moment.
Now.
Yeah.
Okay, for now.
Yeah, for now, let's say I don't want that for myself. And also that kind of happiness, I can get it in other things. Yeah.
Like what other things?
By doing the things that I love, taking myself out, just experiencing the things that I love, like watching movies, taking myself out to watch movies, swimming, doing activities. Funny thing, I really enjoy my company. So even if it comes to the point where I'm like, oh my God, I wish I had someone, or I wish I had a partner, it fades away so quickly because I am so obsessed with being by myself.
And then is this something that maybe changed once you got into like campus and like just now 18 and above, or like this is just something you noticed like even when you're like maybe in primary school or just still like a kid?
Yeah, this is something I noticed when I was very, very young, but I was so much in denial of it because every time somebody will come into my life, I will just do something to just push them away. It's like I dreaded being with somebody constantly asking me, how was your day? How are you? Like somebody caring for me. It's like I dreaded it, but I was so much in denial of it. So when I got to campus, I gave myself this chance to be in a relationship, and I stayed there for a while. And then at some point I was like, I really don't like this. Yeah, and I just left.
What kind of girlfriend were you?
What kind of girlfriend was I?
When you're attempting it now, because it's just the first time you're doing it, and then you're like, okay, it's not working out, but what kind of girlfriend? During that time you were trying, like what persona did you have now to like, get into to like just be a girlfriend or try at least?
Actually, I was a lover girl. I am a lover girl if it gets to that point. If I'm with someone, I will genuinely love you. I will give you 100% as long as you give me 100% caring and everything. But I just feel like I cannot put that up for a long time. That's the problem. At some point, I'll just cheat and say, I'm tired. I just feel like I don't need you anymore.
Ooh.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm a very, very loving person.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe until just, for now, until you find that person, maybe.
Yeah.
you have to stick to your guns as well. Where you are, what makes you happy.
Yes.
And then also we'll go back to like just your day to day. But where did the name, like now, just your handle, Jewel Kirstein, come from? Or why Jewel?
Okay. Jewel is my birth name. It's my real name. My
That's your
parents.
actual name in the
Yeah,
ID?
Jewel. Yes.
What?
Yes. And Kirstein is my mom's name.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, how did you ever ask her like what made her come up with like the name?
Every time I ask them, they don't give me a straight answer. They're just like, we just found it beautiful.
Come on, they don't explain how they came up with the name.
Imagine.
Okay, it's not like your mom liked jewelry or.
No, they just tell me, hey, we just like the name. But my dad, there's a time he even told me, "Ugh, I wish we would have called you Copper or something. I wish we would have called you Copper or something.
What?
Imagine.
That's-
But yeah.
That's interesting as well. Now, because you've mentioned like both parents, like what kind of relationship do you have with your dad? Like what role has he played? Like, what do you think some of the personality traits he's input in you?
My dad, I don't have a good relationship with my dad, actually. I usually feel like maybe he hates me or something. I don't know, or he didn't want me to be here for some reason. And I can say him being a present, absent father has really I think it has contributed a lot to me having a certain attitude towards men, because even the relationship that they have with my mom, I cannot say like it's the best, it's not the best. So the relationship that I have with my dad, it is not that good. It's not that good. Even if he's still in our lives, I genuinely do not like him, and I can't say that I have some things that I would love to take from him. If anything, I have a lot that I pray every day I do not take after.
Really?
Yeah, yes.
Is he tall?
Yeah, is he tall?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
He's taller than you or?
Yeah, he's taller than me.
Ah, so he gave you the height.
Yeah, thank God it's only that.
So, no. Listen, that's a blessing in itself.
Yeah.
So that every time you look at the mirror, or every time somebody tells you like, "Hey, actually you're tall," just remember your dad.
I know.
You have to tell that person, "It's my dad. It's my dad."
I would never give him any credit.
Okay, maybe as an adult is when now you start self-analyzing like a lot of things and situations, and maybe now, of course, you'll say like, "Hey, dad would have been this way or that way." But as a kid, like, was that the same? Was this feeling still the same, mutual, or
As a kid,
it changed when you grew up?
It changed when I grew up, because as a kid I actually wanted to feel that fatherly love. I wanted to impress him. I wanted him to see me as a good daughter, but nothing until when I grew up. I was like, there is no way I'm going to beat myself up thinking I'm the problem. I'm just going to do me. If you decide to like me or not, it is fine. I have my own life to live.
But why would you think he doesn't like you? I don't think there's any.
know.
Is there a parent who doesn't like their kid, really?
If he does, he really has a weird way of showing it.
Men do have weird ways of showing love and affection,
Oh, but it is different compared to my siblings, so that is why I am saying this,
And also, as a firstborn, you have to give them a little bit of tough love. Because also, as a firstborn, maybe you're also considered as, almost like a semi-head of the family. In case anything was to happen to the head of the family, I'm sure like you'll notice with your personality right now, you'll be able to hold and support a lot of people who are just around you.
But there are different ways I would have gotten this personality instead of giving me so much tough love and having me taking it the wrong way and having so many different traumas, and having daddy issues that I don't think I deserved, Yeah, so...
But don't you think you would have had a different personality if he treated you differently? Do you think you'd be the same person?
I wouldn't. Maybe I would have been softer.
Very soft.
Yeah.
Very soft and everything. And maybe, at times blessings do come in disguise. So it's just because you're still on the journey, you don't know, like maybe where in the next 5 years you'll be. And it's going to be like a whole completely different person. And then now you start thinking like, actually, this man wasn't that bad. And you're like, man, okay, now I get it. But of course,
maybe.
that what I'm saying also, it's because nobody's prepared for parenthood.
True.
Nobody knows how it's, for him, you have to understand, even for him as a parent, it was his first time being a parent. So, I mean, there's no script.
True.
Aren't we seeing online like a lot of just parents going back and forth, baby daddy, baby mama? And then every time we always think, when these people are like, are they mad? Is there something wrong with them? But nobody has a script for this thing.
Yeah, it's true.
You see, nobody has a script for this thing. And then, God forbid, maybe you rebuke people like that. And then when you start being a parent, people are like, remember 10 years ago what you were saying? So you see, I mean, but I think as long as maybe a parent is not like, abusive, I think they still play a big role. But of course, unfortunately, maybe the things that you're craving, even though they were not there, that's unfortunate. But, they still did build you in a very different way. Different, unique way, and means you're way much stronger.
Yeah, true.
True, right?
Yes.
Okay, so then again now, still on content. No, I was talking about friendships, right?
Yeah.
And then I wanted to ask, so now how does it work if you don't have like a friendship circle and then things like birthdays, how do you celebrate them? Do you get presents? Do you
Actually, speaking on that, my birthday is tomorrow. And
Really?
yeah, I think I'm just going to take myself out somewhere and just chill by myself and maybe go to church and thank God for everything that He has done for me. And that will be a very successful day to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if it's a matter of presents, I'll get myself presents. Yeah.
Do people send you presents?
Yeah, I've had people buy me presents and stuff, but push them away.
Wait, what? You pushed who away?
See, my friends.
People who gave you presents.
Yeah, people who give me presents, people who actually cared about me. But this is not something that I am proud of. It's just something that I really don't know. I don't know. It's like I don't know how to act when I find out that somebody genuinely cares about me. I don't know.
So how do you feel if somebody gives you a present?
I'd be happy, like, oh my God, thank you, But I'll be like, wow, you shouldn't have. Seriously, I would have gotten it for myself. I promise.
I mean, okay. So anyway, because you said tomorrow is your birthday.
Yeah.
This is nothing much, but it's just a little something that I had, and I didn't pack it the right way.
Oh.
And happy birthday.
Oh my God.
It's a piece of jewelry.
Thank you. I actually love jewelry so much.
Okay.
This is beautiful. Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you so much. This is so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And it's gold. I love gold. Kwani, did you do a research on me or something?
No, I saw the name jeweler and I actually thought maybe you do love jewelry. And
I do.
I had gotten this with a bunch of some Fashion Nova stuff.
Wow.
But I was like, it's too much for a guy to wear. So I was like, you know what?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's something you can rock with.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Wow. Thank you so much.
So tell your friends, that's how you do it, you see?
Yeah.
Have you seen my present being sent back? No?
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. So let's put this one
somewhere
here.
Okay.
So it doesn't pop in the frame. Okay, so now we definitely have to touch on a few subjects that I've seen you like just also like discussing like on TikTok. I just have like a couple. There's one that I saw which was very hilarious. I think this is what I watched last. Oh no, actually I've remembered. You do know did you see when I sent you my first DM?
I didn't see when. When was it?
You didn't see?
I didn't see the actual day.
Oh, okay, hold on. Let me see.
It's the day that I responded.
No. Let's see. Let's just find out right now so that we can balance the topics with the things that are actual events, right? But I'll tell you why I reached out then. Here we are. So I think it still shows.
But what date was it?
This was in April.
April. Oh, wow.
But before this, I had sent you another one last year.
Last year?
Yeah. Isn't last year when you posted the thing about matatus?
Yeah.
That's when I sent you a DM. That's when I sent you a DM.
Oh my God, I have to be checking my DMs.
Yeah.
Actually.
So you also do that to DMs. Just reject.
No, I don't.
Reject.
No, it's just that there's so many sometimes and
Yeah.
clicking on all of them. Yeah.
So what made you say yes to this time and even an invite to the podcast?
Oh, because recently I told myself, you know what, I actually have to start looking at these DMs. You never know. And then I found yours and was like, oh my God, you DM'd me and I did not see. I usually feel so bad if I find somebody has DM'd me and they're actually offering me something and I did not see. So I was like, hey, how are you? And yeah, I had to respond because you also have a very good platform.
Yeah.
And I liked what you do. So yeah, that's why.
So did you have to do like research before you say like, okay, so I can do it?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. I looked at your page and was like, yes, this is definitely something I would like to be associated with. Yeah.
Okay. So now from that video, was that like you a cross of you acting, or that's actually how you felt and still feel when you're using matatus?
That is actually how I felt. If I put a camera in front of my face and I tell people like, oh my God, that is genuinely how I feel. The skits, now that is acting. But speaking, that is genuinely how I feel. And I feel that way about matatus for real. I just get enough money to buy myself a car.
I mean, last time I checked, Buru matatus are still like really nice. Not unless they changed, right? So you still have nganyas.
Yeah. All of them. I'm probably going to get some backlash because of this, but anyways, this is just my opinion. The loud music sometimes is just too much for me, and the smell inside also, and also the crowd. I'm just like, I wish I was just able to have this all by myself and not travel with other people.
I do find like those things can be a bit annoying in a matatu, but I do at times miss being in a matatu.
Yeah. You do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because but now for somebody like you who likes being alone completely, you'd have a ball in a car. You'd have so much fun.
For real.
Put all your windows up, you're not talking to anyone.
I'm telling you what.
You'll be in paradise. But at times you do want like just crisscrossing with people. But that's just for me. But I also do like enjoy being in my own space at times. Okay. But I do like mixing it up with bits and pieces. So of course I do understand when you're talking about matatu. Of course it's not a fun one. So after you dropped that video, the other crazy woman dropped her video. What's her name? Was it a government lady or something? The one was saying like, who uses matatus? The poor people. I was like, yo, why would you even say something like that? Like, more than 3/4 of the country, they're using matatus. And then they watch your video and then they're like, what? What did she say about us?
She is definitely...
I've never seen that. Was such a crazy coincidence. So I was like, yo, I really need to have you on the podcast because I've seen these. And then I've seen this lady. But of course, I think even at times things will work out with due time, like even now doing the podcast now for various reasons.
And
so
I appreciate you reaching out again.
I always reach out to like anyone who's doing something unique online. I just try and send a DM. So depending on whether they like my platform, they can say yes. If not, it's well and good. But of course, I do always have like a lot of people also say, if you're not paying me, I'm not coming to your platform. But I still always have to explain to them, for me, it's not for monetary gain.
Yeah.
It has given me opportunities, but my podcast is not generally for making money. It's just like highlighting stories, events, platform, and collaborations. Because I still, after I'm done with this, I'm sure when I invited you, you thought there was going to be a crew here, right?
Not really. I had looked into your videos with other people, and I was like, maybe it's just going to be you
Yeah.
and maybe another guest or someone or something, but not a
Okay.
whole crew.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of post-production stuff that needs to be done, of course, after shooting, editing. And if you're in like multimedia and you've done like the course, you understand like even from the process of shooting to putting out content, how much work it takes.
Yeah, for
You
real.
see? So if I'm gonna do that plus pay someone, no, thank you.
Yeah. for
No,
real.
thank you, because it won't be sustainable. By the end of the year, it'll be too expensive for me anyway to
Yeah.
run it.
Yeah, and it's also a good platform for me too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So but now it needs for somebody who understands that.
Oh,
If
okay.
they look at it as a platform, then well and good. But somebody doesn't see it as a platform, then unfortunately they won't understand why it's being done.
Yeah.
Okay. And then now, are you the kind of person, because now like you've talked about even like just the isolation thing, but do you ever reach out to people for collaborations or no?
I have reached out to not so many creators, but let's say if I like your content or I find you funny, I will be like, hey, let's do some content together. Like the first person I ever reached out to was Mushiri. Mushiri is a very, very funny
Who's Mushiri?
young man. Yeah, you know Mushiri?
I mean, he does the short skits.
Yeah, he does this short Mushiri entertainer.
I think I do know. Let me see so that I know. Mushiri, the entertainer.
Mushiri the entertainer.
It's so popping.
Yes.
Oh,
this one.
yeah,
I find him
yeah.
so funny.
Okay, yeah. Uh-huh.
He's so funny. He has a unique personality. And you know, we have so many people who are doing funny skits.
We have a lot
But
of people.
he's like doing it on his own and he's just himself. So that's what I love about. If you're doing something out of just being you, I can be able to notice it.
Yeah.
And then I'll be able to reach out. So yeah.
Actually, let me follow him by the way. I think I've seen one of his videos pop up. So you did you do a skit with him?
Yeah, we did.
Okay. But was it like a one-off thing or you
Oh, we did it a while back, and we're planning to do some other skits maybe next week. Yeah.
Okay. And then now, like talking about just even collaborations, have you had any brands reach out to you to work together? Like, you know, like these brands that I'm seeing like endorse like a lot of women in general.
Yeah, I have had small brands reach out. I've not had like big brands like Gani, because Gani has worked with so many content creators, Coca-Cola and all that. I've had small brands. Currently, I'm working with Tamu Skin. So I've worked with Skin by Lee. Yeah, just that.
Those sound like lightening creams. Are they lightening creams?
No, they're not actually. They they are
I'm playing.
not. They
I'm
are
playing. I'm playing. We'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah, they're not.
So they're just cream. They're what are they? What are they
What
exactly?
are they? Like Skin Daily, they sell skincare products. Like they have Castle powder. Castle powder is like an organic powder for face mask. And what else? Face mask scrub. And Tamu, they have skin. They have like a skin butter, shea butter. And you know, shea butter is very good with like African skin because it's a little bit thick. And they also have scrubs, body scrubs.
Do they work, those things?
Yeah, they do. Especially Tamu Skin Bar. It's an upcoming brand, and I really love their product. Smells nice, very good on the skin. So much shine. I love it so much.
You know, should have carried something today to
For real, I should have. Yeah.
Here's a platform.
It's just that they've not finished. They've not finished paying me
okay,
according to the agreement.
Okay, so we have to.
Yeah.
Terms and conditions apply.
Terms and conditions apply.
Okay, fair enough. So now, the reason I'm asking about like just even like brand deals, it's because like that's like a gateway for how a lot of content creators currently, you know, are able to even change their lives and everything. So even just with the content maybe you do, are you scared maybe that at times you might scare away like some certain brands because they're like, she seems like she can be very explosive maybe when she's doing content. We don't know, maybe one day our sales manager might say the wrong thing and then Kirstein goes off online.
I feel like I do scare some brands away because of the personality that I have. But one thing I do believe is I will never ever feel the need to lessen myself so that I can be able to accommodate other people. If a brand feels like, you know what, we feel like we can work with Jewel regardless of the way she is, and we know that we are going to offer her something good and we are not going to like get on her bad side. Because the only reason as to why I would come on social media and be like, is if I feel I am not getting treated in the right way, you know.
Yeah.
But if a brand feels like, you know what, this girl, we love what she does and we love the way she is, we're going to reach out, then fine. But until then, I'm just going to constantly be myself.
So you don't think there's a brand that's gonna come and make you change your ways?
I don't think so. I don't, because if they reach out to me, that means they want to work with me, not me wanting to work with
But
them.
they also have their
So
terms and conditions.
If they have their terms and conditions and they also comply with what I am asking from them, then that is okay, you know. Same way.
In fact, you know what? I tell you, Christine, we watched that video you were talking about matatus. Like, just here's a car first of all, before we start negotiations. And then we need you to tone down this personality.
We need you to tone down this personality.
Yeah. But here's the car keys first of all. Yeah.
Tone down.
No more matatus.
No more matatus.
No more senke.
Oh, no more senke. Oh, okay. If they say that, tone down my personality. Tone down my personality. It depends. They can't just tell me at it.
You don't think there's a number somebody will give you and you'll change completely? You haven't seen people change online? People who used to see vocal, everything, and then there's some certain checks starting coming their way, and then they just realize you're like, how comes Nani doesn't post the videos I used to like anymore?
It has to be worth it. It has to be worth it. If it's something that is coming to completely change my life for the better, that means it's still benefiting me, even if I'll have to tone down my personality, you know. If it's benefiting me, then it's okay. With a little bit of loss comes a lot of gain, then it
would make sense.
It would make sense.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then now, like, even maybe, let's say the audience, like from your audience, who would you say you've seen like enjoy your content the most? Is it like just young girls your age? Is it working class? Is it like all-rounded? Like, what kind of people consume your content?
I would say young girls. I also have young guys also, women, married women who are working also come to me and tell me, oh my God, your content is so nice. It is, because I'm usually, my content is usually about self-empowerment, you know? And, you know, I just feel like mostly women. When it comes to men, maybe a small percentage. Let's say women 60% and men 40%.
But you know, we see the attitude and what you say about men. I mean, so it might not be very encouraging for somebody to be like, yeah, I can't wait to hear what she's saying today. And then we're like, hey, Kwani, what have we done again? But do you get comments from men who are like, why do you keep talking that way about men?
Actually, I don't. I've had comments that say, you know, what you say is actually, men come and tell me what you say is actually very true. And the people who are giving you a lot of backlash, they are hating on you because they know what you're saying is true. And the men who don't like what you're saying, because men who are actually good and actually are not all those things that I claim men to be, they don't have a problem with my content. In fact, they like, and they tell me like, hey, this is true. But the men who are actually like that, who feel attacked, they're the ones who usually have the need to come and tell me, hey, what are you saying? You're the ones who are going to make our girlfriends leave us. I'm like, where will they leave you if you're not that? You know?
What's the most common thing that, you know, you've maybe had to repeat like on your platform about men? Because you've also said you don't really trust men that much. And also if you look at like maybe a strained relationship with dad as well, which you said it might have also affected how maybe you look at men as well. But like, how would you say men? How do you view men right now? Just your thoughts. Or like, what are those bad examples you'd say you've repeatedly like addressed like on your platform?
Okay, so one of the things that I noticed about women is when they involve themselves with a man, they tend to lessen themselves, and they tend to forget themselves in a certain kind of way. And when you do that, you give the men a little bit of this power over you to manipulate you and to, let's say, if you're dealing with somebody who is narcissistic, this person is operating according to his ego. And women, when they involve with themselves with a narcissistic man, he's going to love bomb you, and you're going to think that this is perfectly normal. And it teaches a time this person is making you not to do the things that you love, constantly bashing you and making you feel small. And that is what I usually repeat every single time in my page. If you involve yourself with a man, please do not neglect yourself. Please remember your worth. Please remember that you're also somebody who has a say in that relationship. Don't let somebody just have don't let somebody direct your life entirely. That's why people tend to say, hey, my relationship is not working. But in real sense, you're the one who is making it not work, because you are enabling this person to actually come into your life and lessen you. Yeah.
So, that's called like submitting to your man, right? Would you
this-
submit to your...
I would.
You would?
Yeah, I would submit.
Well, we can't wait. We can't wait for that day we see. And Joel is saying, my man,
would,
and you're like,
Yeah, but I would only submit if this person is actually masculine enough, and this person is actually also taking care of me and also letting me be myself and actually pursue my dreams and all of that. I wouldn't have a problem with somebody coming and telling me, hey, this and this and this is wrong, I would listen to you, as long as you also listen to me when it comes to the things that I love and the things that I have an opinion also about yourself. So it's not all the time it has to be you. It has to be a two-way traffic.
But do you think or agree that maybe a woman's supposed to be a man's helper?
I'm supposed to be a man's helper.
Because there's somebody, like you see, even for your case, even when you describe it, you're saying like, I force to submit to a man, saying you'd want to be like a masculine man. So automatically it means he has to be like better in so many other different things than you, so that you can look up to him and say like, hey, by the way, if I need help, whether it's physical, mental, financial, he can still be able to kind of make things easier for you. So do you think like that's just...
I do believe that a woman is supposed to be a man's helper, because there is something that, the same way there is something that women lack, there's something also that men lack, that
100%,
women have to come in and actually help you with.
Yeah.
But if you want a woman to actually be your helper, you have to actually also be a helper to that woman. Let that woman feel safe. Protect that woman. Provide for that woman. And that woman will naturally... Actually, these things that we say, being a helper, submitting, these are things that come naturally. You cannot force somebody to be your helper,
True.
When you actually play your role as a man, you will just find your woman actually helping you with things, with so many things, with growing your company, if it's growing your company, your business and everything else. So it just has to do with how everybody is playing their role. Yeah.
Okay, now the trust thing that you had mentioned, you said like you don't trust men when it comes to friendship. What exactly do you mean by that? Like in what ways wouldn't you... or is there a bad experience that has happened in friendship that made you lose faith in like such situations?
No, not really. I would say I have had very good male friends, but men, they cannot really
I don't know. I'm asking. I'm a man, so
okay,
I don't
let me
know.
say from my...
So even for me, I'm just like, okay, I want to know, because even for me, like,
Let me say from my side.
Yeah.
When it comes in female and male relationships and male male relationships, there tends to be a stronger bond compared to female and male relationships,
True.
So I can never say that, hey, I can never be like, let's say, if you're my friend, I can never say that, hey, I know that you are my best friend and I know that you're a man. And when it comes to you and another male, automatically you will put that other male in front of me,
True.
That is why I would never ever consider myself to be above or to have even a space in a man's life when it comes to friendship, because I know where I stand. As long as I'm not a male like you, I know my place for you. So that's what I mean when I say I don't trust meals. But I genuinely think that we shouldn't trust anyone. There is nowhere in the Bible where it has said we should trust people.
That's true.
Yeah,
you can't just be walking blindly.
Yeah,
Like
for real. Just put your trust in God, and yeah.
Okay, interesting. Also, another take, like, because there's a video that I saw. The video, let me just open it so that I can get it correct. The headline, right? The headline was, where is it? You are asked if you had a chance to break one rule for a day, what would it be?
Yeah. Yes, I had gone.
Even the judges were saying like, wait, you said what? And she was like, maybe I've had it wrong. You said what? And then you say kill.
Yeah.
Kill?
Yes. If killing was actually, if for one day it was like, hey, you can break any rule.
Yeah.
You just do it. Hey, maybe I would say kill, because killing, we would be able to actually kill these men who rape women, these men who force themselves onto women.
Yeah.
You'll be able to kill them and not go anywhere. Nobody will actually, men who would tend to touch you inappropriately, because that feeling is so bad. Maybe you men, you'll never feel that, you'll never feel it because you're men, but as women, even if a man just holds your hand like this and forces you, hey, Msichana, come, let me talk to you. To me, it feels so bad. Like, what makes you think you can just...
matatus za Burusi, I'm sure when you're going on stage, they're always like...
And I'm usually like, why? I know the kind of matatu I want to get into. So me, personally, you just try to touch me a little bit down.
So what happens? Because like now if you're going to use a Buruma 3, I'm sure that's going to happen every single day. How do you approach such things?
Niachilie. Yeah, I have to be tough and tell them, hey, leave me alone, don't touch me.
But they'll still do it tomorrow.
If they do, I have to constantly do that. That's why I'm saying that, hey, if I could just shoot somebody in the hand and they hear like this girl shoots
people so they can stop.
They can just be like, hey, don't touch that one,
Okay. So it's not like you've ever been in an abusive situation with a guy or anything close to that?
No, not really. I have not. Let's say when I was young, to the stupid love,
okay.
Yeah, just stupid love, and they don't count that as abusive and all of that.
Yeah.
Because we were all young.
We were just young.
Yeah, we were just young.
Because I think now when it happens in adulting and we see it like on social media, that's when you're just saying like, hey, I don't even understand people going through such lives.
Exactly.
It doesn't make any sense to me by the way. So
same.
And I completely understand that bit. And even like just on that, we can maybe address like just even like the femicide rate, because you've talked about it. I think in a couple of your videos, you keep mentioning, and the hashtag also is present like in some of your videos, right?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts just about on something like that? Because on my platform, I've addressed before, and they said, because those numbers keep going high.
Yeah.
But I was saying that people need to start paying attention to the boys who are growing up, not the men. The men who are doing these things. Like, even if you remember the guy who was saying in a march protest, like, yo, me, if you eat my pizza and try and go with me, I'll kill you. I was just like, you have to understand, there are people who are damaged beyond repair.
Yeah.
And they want to change their stance. And that's why, like, even as much as protests keep happening, how many bodies do we see in a week?
Hey, many.
It's consistent. Like, there's no month that nobody dies from such as, and these are the ones that we know.
Yeah.
I'm sure like outside the city, there's so many others that are not like reported or addressed or highlighted with the news or blogs. But I was saying like, you need to start paying attention to like small or young boys, because like right now we do have like a very big number of boys who are being neglected, not only by, let's just say, the government, but even with society. You have to understand right now boys are seeing like a lot of young women getting opportunities. Me, I'm not in that age group, so I'm slightly different, but they are consistently seeing like women's programs. You apply for this, women will teach you, and as you nini. How many programs right now have you heard about young boys like being trained to mentorship on
Very, very few.
They don't exist even.
Yeah.
They don't even exist.
True.
The one that exists, maybe it's men conference and it's a whole joke. It's just a joke for Valentine's Day. I don't think that's something that's actually serious. But look at women's program. There are so many. But remember, these young boys are seeing that neglect. They're being pushed aside with everything and everything. And if you notice, like even from like the age groups of these people who are throwing each other in balconies, it's young people, Gen Z. I mean, I don't remember the last time millennials threw each other like through windows, balconies, moving cars. It's slightly a younger group of young adults, teenagers. We're seeing those extremes. Maybe my numbers are wrong, but what we're seeing on mainstream is a lot of young people.
True.
So I think there are a lot of young boys who are being neglected. And if you see how they're reacting, the last resort is just extreme violence or killing or death.
Yeah.
And I know it goes both ways, but still there's a lot and a large group of boys who are being neglected. And I think it's going to be a problem if it still keeps going that way. But like, just what are your thoughts though?
What are my thoughts? I actually think you have a point. I recently made a video on starting on actually paying attention to the way we are raising children from the home. You know, everything starts from the home, you know?
Yeah.
And right now, as you have said, it's not a lie. A guy my age, you can find a girl my age. I'm 20 years old, you know, and you can find a girl who is 20 years old as me. She already has her own place, her own apartment, you know,
Yes.
and a guy is struggling to like get the same opportunity on the same age, and you'll find like that's why girls are like, hey, me, I don't want to date a younger guy, you know.
If you don't have money,
if you don't have money, yes, it can. You have a point. It can highly contribute to what is happening and everything else. So let's say maybe empowering. We can try empowering the male child. We have to, in as much as we are empowering the female child, and we also have to teach the males also to see women as more than just objects, and also more than just things to just, you know, most men do not view women as something that
100%
as
true.
human beings, you know, as decent human beings. So if we try empowering the males, giving them equal opportunities as we give females, and you know, the way females, when we go for a talk, we will always constantly be reminded of our worth. If we have things like that, and the males go wanaongeleshwa, they're being told like, hey, you know, as a man, like, you also have this kind of worth. You can also grow up to become somebody decent, and you're constantly reminded of your morals also. I think that it will change
a lot.
Change for real,
because now the group is growing like massively of like, and also understand still, unfortunately, we also have like a large group of those same boys that are still being raised by single moms.
True.
So like even dads are not present to guide them. And still we still have a government or society that does not provide programs that can encourage them like just to be men. That's why when you have like young girls who are like saying right now consistently online, like, these young men don't know how to treat like they can't do anything for you, they can't do this and this for me.
That is the reason.
These young boys keep saying this. So you can only imagine like how they're growing up with that mentality. And how else are they supposed to look at these women as queens, people we should provide and protect for, when entirely through their childhood till adulting, they're still getting the same, like you've said, there are no programs, there are no talks. Like even the last time you saw talks for young men. Like on TV. But for women, every other weekend, 2 months, pink thing, there's a pink whatever. I think I saw, wait, you're doing are you going for the Dera thing with
yes,
you see, like there's so many different things for for women, like in general, that they're just pushed. And even when they're pushed, like even brands jump in. It's like, oh, what Sijui Nani's doing, okay, KCB is there, or Sijui Stan Chat or whatever, like brands are even ready to go in with that. But when they hit like a boys thing, like even look at the branch, this is paka like EABL, like, yo, there's a Guinness special thing for women. But I'm like, since when? Is there a group activity sponsored by Guinness, which used to be like a man's drink?
Yeah.
But they don't even do that for guys
For
anymore.
guys.
You see?
I think the reason as to why maybe the women have all these things about empowering women is because even before like women used to be empowered as they are in the present day, it used to be men being empowered and being told like, you are everything, you have to be like in the olden days. A father would sit down with the son and tell him like, this is your role in the family, you have to protect your family, this is your wife, this is how to treat them. No, and the woman used to be neglected so much. You stay in the house, wash the dishes. And the women decided to switch it up. So I think right now, because even these events for empowering women, it's the women who are organizing it. So I would really, really pray that if there are men out there who have been raised by good men who present mothers, present fathers, because just as I was saying in another video of mine, if you have a present dad and if you have a present mom, you will grow up to be a very, 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 very good and decent human being. If you grow up with a single mother, it has an impact, even on us women. Even as a woman, you can tell the difference between a girl who has grown with a present dad, a father who has grown to love the girl, and a girl who has not grown with a father. You'll see the difference. So if let's say all of us would just like put in the effort to actually teach the males, if the males actually take the time to organize this kind of functions, to talk to men and tell them like, this is how you're supposed to be. Do not see these females as this. If we have this female conferences, let's also have the male conferences where the males can also come and tell this man like, hey, this is how you're supposed to be. This is how you know your worth. This is how you can actually empower yourself, instead of just empowering the females, and the men are feeling neglected and they start developing a certain kind of hate.
There is a lot of resentment of like, I don't know if like girls are paying attention. Like even at times when you hear somebody was killed, raped, or just abused in a certain way, if you go to the comment section, look at what those young men are writing.
Yeah, they are so heartless. They're like, hey,
they do not care.
Real.
They don't care at all. They feel nothing at all.
You really do.
And that should show you, like, because they're telling you how they feel. They're not even hiding it. They're like, we don't care.
Yeah.
They're like, at Nani, we can't wait for the next one. They are telling you exactly what they feel. So you can't neglect that because aren't those the same people who are going to come and finish these girls?
Yeah, true.
So if you want this situation, you have to address it.
Yeah.
Because we can keep saying like, oh, young men, you shouldn't, like, even of course, I'm always saying like, anybody can do what they want. But of course, there's still also this debate of my dress, my choice. This is always like a debate and going on. The reason for me, I'd never say like, you dress your choice, is because I know guys. You see the comment section, you see what they're saying.
Yeah.
So why would I tell my sister, dress the way you want and go where you want? No. I know they're here, they're saying it.
Yeah.
They're telling you exactly what they're going to do. So me as a guy with my brain, I know what these people are capable of.
True.
So I'll tell my sister, like, hey, listen, you can't go there dressed like this. Just tone it down a bit, but you can still be like, don't make yourself too accessible for nut jobs, because when you're going to like an event or a certain space, nobody has been vetted to qualify to get in that. And as long as they paid for a ticket, they're there.
Yeah.
If it's a free event, everybody's there. You don't know people's backgrounds.
True.
You don't know what they've been doing in their past.
True.
And you take your daughter and you need to tell her, Mama, you dress the way you want. Nobody's going to touch you. Nobody's going to hurt you. They're saying what they'll do in the comment section. Why would I be a stupid parent or brother and tell my sister, no, you go and do whatever you feel like? No, I'll just tell her, cover up. But then again, for somebody else's daughter, I can't tell them what to do.
Yeah, true.
And that's why it's unfortunate. Even at times I have friends that I would want to help in certain situations, but I can't do anything. I can just say like, I can only tell that to my sister. Because who am I to address somebody else's daughter?
Yeah, true. But even in the recent cases of rape and everything else, it has come to prove that it's really not even a matter of the way somebody dresses. Because we've even seen that a fully dressed woman in a hijab will get raped. Recently, we've seen even a show has gotten raped. So it's not even, like you've said, if we actually get to empower these males the way we get to empower these females, the issue of rape and femicide killing women, it won't be an issue anymore, because the issue is not even about dressing. The issue, I think, is just that kind of resentment and that kind of hate towards women.
But we'll still go back and forth. Just finish and then I'll finish my point. I haven't forgotten.
So I just think it's just that hate that they have towards women, because they really do not care. Even if you dress decently or indecently, if a man would want to do something to you, he will do it. And they have proven that to us, according to the recent cases that we have had, And if we actually would sit down, the reason as to why us girls we're being told every single time, like, you just be you, your dress, your choice. The reason as to why we're being empowered like that is because you guys, it's like you really do not care. You really do not care. Even if somebody comes in full clothing, you would still force yourself. Even in a matatu, you would find, because there's a recent time I was in a matatu and I was seated next to this man, and I cannot say that I was dressed indecently or anything, but this man was feeling the need to want to touch me and was like, hey, I even stood in the matatu and was shouting and was like, hey, I cannot sit next to this man. Why does he feel like he can just touch me the way he wants, So I do not, the issue is not even about dressing or whatever. The issue is the way us girls, we have people to sit us down and actually talk to us. Somebody has to sit men down and actually tell them, like, hey, that is not what masculinity is. Forcing yourself to women is not what masculinity is. You have to be able to control your sexual energy. You have to be able to control yourself sexually. You don't have to, not every woman that you see, you have to feel the constant need of touching her, because also these women that are out here, not all of them are clean. You cannot just look at a woman and you're like, wow, this woman looks nice, and automatically you feel the need to touch that woman. It's not wrong. The same way we are having people empower us is the same way these young men have to have people to sit them down and actually talk to them about these things. Because even if there's something I've also realized, this women empowerment thing is actually making women more smarter than men, You can actually sit down with a man who is my age, and let me tell you, our thought process will not be the same. It will not be the same. Because there's so many things that I am being told about myself, feeding into my mind, that you have not been told, and it is making you dumber and you don't know. And I'm so glad you brought that up. We really need to have male empowering content. We really need to have that. I think that it will solve a lot of issues.
How many young men have you seen on my podcast?
Many. I have
no,
seen.
You haven't.
No, I haven't seen any.
Have you seen any young men in my podcast?
Young men?
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen
If you did your research.
I've seen women.
A lot.
I've seen a lot of women.
A lot
of women.
They're very expressive. They have things to say. Like a lot of young men, they just don't want to. They don't want to. Even if I try, it's kind of like tricky. By the time it gets to the date of recording, they're 50-50. They're second-guessing themselves and everything. And you see it. But, I've had, like, the youngest guest I've had on my podcast, she was 16.
Wow.
And if you hear her speaking, you'll be shocked. Because I didn't know until she said it on the podcast. Because we were just going back and forth in a debate, like we were heated and everything. And then she goes like, how am I supposed to know that? I'm just 16. I'm like, what? How are you even in the podcast? Like, does your mom know you're here and everything? But, we're cool friends. The mom knew she was coming to the podcast. But she's very mature. Like, when she's speaking, you think you're talking to like a 24, 25-year-old.
Yeah, that's
you wouldn't know. And that's what I'm saying. If I picked a 16-year-old boy.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But so now you see again, if we get these two people get in campus and these guys are trying to talk to the women and constantly you'll get that friction of like, these guys are too immature for me. But they don't even know how to be adults or even closely relate to like where these young women are because of the empowerment that the women have been given. And also it's unfortunate because we are also in a third world country or a developing country or whatever we can call it. Meaning opportunities won't be there as much as maybe people in the West can have. Because a lot of concepts that we're adapting right now are from overseas. So even like women empowerment programs and everything, they have been brought like from overseas. That's why NGOs are implementing them in certain ways and every different thing. But we're in a fucking third world country.
True.
These boys, if they're not empowered in any way, there is no way, there is no job or activity that will save them like from they can't be, it's impossible. It's almost impossible to be successful like right now as a young man.
Yeah.
You're destined to like probably like, it's either you fail or like just God helps you out. I don't know how you can be successful now as a young boy.
Yeah, and also,
I just don't know.
And also, like, society has also put the mentors that these young boys have are not actually mentors.
Terrible.
Just people telling them, you just look for money, leave women alone. Look for money, you'll have all the women that you want. And I'm just like, money is actually the lowest form of wealth, if you think about it. What about other things?
Hey, let's not get carried away.
Yeah, it is.
Joel, let's not get carried away. But okay, to your point.
Okay,
just address your point.
Okay, my point is money. Okay, having money is part of wealth, right? But if we come to like levels of wealth and all of that, money is actually the lowest. You know, you can have health. Health is actually wealth. You know,
true.
Yeah, and I think it's higher than money, because if you have money, you don't have health. That money it's just going to make your health better and all of that, you know? Yeah. And if we think about, let's say, if men had mentors telling them, hey, you know what? We know that you're supposed to have money and you're supposed to chase the bag, but listen, when you get that money, don't just go at it. Now you're looking for all the women in the world, because not everybody is as healthy as you think. True. Teach men to actually put themselves first. And having multiple partners, to me, it is not something that is going to do any good in your health, you know, even your mental health, not just physical health. Yeah. Even in your mental health, it's not. So in as much as you're working hard to look for this money, please try and look out for yourself, you know. Try and actually put yourself first. Work on your mentality, on your brain. Because one thing that men also tend to forget, women can actually spot a man who has money and is not that smart, you know. That's why you'll find that a man has a lot of money and constantly has this woman mwenye anafikiria anamtumia, and this woman is like, so you'll send me this amount of money, and this one is like, I'll just go shake my ass on that man at that anipatia tu pesa yako. Then you want to tell me your hard-earned money is just worth a girl to just come and shake ass on you, you know.
Me money never leaves my pocket though, so I'm just putting it out there. We can laugh and everything, but money before it comes out is.
I feel like society has not put good mentors for these men.
That's true.
It really has not. It just has people telling them, chase the bag, get a lot of bitches, and you're going to be successful. No, that is not what success is. Actually, success is if you have your own money and you have a good partner, a helper next to you who is actually going to give you feminine energy and is going to help you prosper and even make that money in large amounts, you know. But it doesn't have people telling them that, you know.
That's true.
But as women, we have people telling. Personally, I have women who are older than me who tell me, you know, if you want to settle with a man, please settle with a man who is not only seeing you for your body, a man who is going to see your brain, a man who is going to see you for who you are and your talents and all of that. But men don't have people who are telling them that.
No, I always tell people like on the podcast, even on yesterday's episode, it was the same thing. And it's funny because we were talking about, what did she bring up? My friend said like, okay, so if you had like a light-skinned girl, because we'll get to that debate. Yeah. So she was telling me, so like if you have like a light-skinned girl and a dark-skinned girl, who would you pick? Because Kenyans now have said like it's only like light-skinned women who are being given priority. I was like, it's not even about complexion anymore. For me, I really do have to think about how her head is functioning.
Exactly.
How her self-esteem is like in her head and how smart she is.
True.
Because if this is somebody who's going to be like the mother of your child, again, unfortunately, if something happens to you, will she be able to maintain even what you actually put on the table?
Yes.
And all such things. And we were talking and debating about so many different things. And then she was like, no, but a lot of light-skinned girls are getting opportunities and stuff. And I was telling her like, no, that's not true.
Exactly.
That's not true. They might be getting like certain opportunities, but if we were to go like with even like a list of a lot of successful women in Kenya, they're not successful because they're light-skinned.
True.
In fact, we have very few light-skinned women who are successful. And unfortunately, maybe it's because they didn't work on their personality and building like a lot of other things around them. But the wealthiest person in the country is a dark-skinned woman.
Yeah.
You know who she is?
Who is she?
You tell me, do you know who she is?
The wealthiest woman,
The wealthiest person in our country is a woman, and she's dark skinned.
Is she the one who owns this group of schools?
No.
It's not her?
No.
Who is she?
Come on now.
Just tell me.
Who's the wealthiest woman? Who's the wealthiest person in the country?
The wealthiest person in the country. Oh my God. I'm afraid to tell you guys, but I'm disappointing you in this one. Who is she?
You guys talk women empowerment here. You don't even know who's like.
Who is she?
Mama Ngina.
Oh, okay.
I look at you now, you're like, oh.
Okay.
But
okay.
yeah.
She is.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, who's wealthier than her?
I don't know. I thought it was this woman who owns this group of schools.
No. Listen, when you land at JKIA, what does JKIA mean?
Jomo Kenyatta.
Yeah, so understand, that's the name of the airport.
Oh my, okay.
So if you're in any country, anywhere in the world, say, I'm going to Kenya, which airport are you landing?
JKIA.
Yeah.
International Airport. Okay.
One of the most biggest unis.
Jomo Kenyatta University.
Hospital.
Hey, Jomo. Hey, okay. Kenyatta. Hey, okay. Kenyatta Hospital.
Hey, where people go get cancer treatment. People need to understand, like, just how there are people who. And when was the last time you heard her speaking or addressing anything? Yeah,
I'm not.
You see now, that's called like now king shit or queen shit because it's just on.
Yeah, on another level.
But I'm just saying, and it's not even like about tribe or anything, but just understand this is not somebody like maybe had like the biggest degrees or anything, but think about like even her husband at the time, he didn't stay as a president for long, but he left her behind with a lot of responsibilities. And how many years later down the line,
she's still upholding the same legacy.
And she's not arguing with anyone about anything. You guys argue, fight. And
I'm so glad I came to this podcast. I
Really?
feel so educated right
Oh,
now.
really?
How did I not know the wealthiest woman is Mama Ngina?
Come on.
Come
on.
Imagine
Not woman, person in the country.
Yes, person in the country is the woman.
Yes.
Imagine if Jomo Kenyatta had multiple women.
He had a choice. He was in UK and everything. He would have come and said like, okay, this is my blonde, blue-eyed woman. Because he was there, he was exposed, and he was the leader of the country at the time.
Yeah.
He would have picked probably anyone else and put like next to him as like, okay, this is my official wife. But no, he, this is my wife and everything.
Yeah.
Of course, there's so many controversies around it, but just think about like the dynasty and how long it has had to live. Yet it's the woman who's left behind with these big responsibilities.
True.
So, still again, even when you're talking about women empowerment, understand we do have like really good examples in the country, people that maybe people need to study as well and put in our history books well. Because she's still alive, so people can do documentaries, research her, but just find out like more interesting, like even just her take. Nobody even knows what she thinks.
True.
Because imagine if you just to ask her like, how did you even manage to do and raise these kids to be? I mean, people talk about history, but she's part of our history. We need to understand that. Because people talk about money, but do you really know money? You just do your research and you'll know, hey.
True.
So you see, even when we're talking about money, you can't get to that level. This milk that you're drinking everywhere, do your research, understand where it's coming from.
Yeah.
It's just all one, big name.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Wow. I think
so now
if we took, now I know. And that example is a very powerful example, by the way. It is. I really do wish that we could pay attention to the way we are raising people for real. Because even her son, Kenyatta, Kenyatta has like only one wife constantly. Okay, we've not heard of any other.
Exactly. But I'm just saying, like, they have social responsibility. And that's what now we're lacking because, like, okay, Sawa, we're looking up to this person, but just because you're an influencer, understand if people are following, the least you can do is, like, at least, even if you have side chicks, then keep them on the wraps.
Yeah.
I mean, let kids see you as somebody who can do other important things, take you seriously, understand that, okay, so even if I would want to have a wife and treat my wife like this, it makes perfect sense,
Perfect sense.
And you see, like, from their family, you can see that, the way you've said. Even if there's anyone else, we haven't heard of them.
True.
Because the least you can do is like set a good example.
Example.
Even if people are trying to
Facts.
pick other things to like insult you with, they'll look for nothing. They'll just start saying like, he drinks. That's the only thing you can say, Sasa. That's the only thing that you can say. But you can't attack family-wise because he's raised his kids. He's painted a good picture.
Yes.
They'll
And the
do
wife that he left.
the wife.
Yeah.
All those
That
things.
is a very good example.
You'll see
by
those
the way.
classic family pictures. I think it's good because we still need to have those images embedded in our head. And it will change a lot of the way we approach different things.
True.
Because now we have a crazy rise of single moms right now. We don't have like those solid foundations for strong families like we used to. We can't keep ignoring it because it's going to affect people so badly in the next years. It's going to be so bad.
It's going to be extremely, extremely bad, especially if you see, okay, I know the women don't like taking accountability for this, but a man who is growing without a present father is not going to be the same.
It's going to be very tricky.
Very tricky. The same way a man who is growing without a mother also.
True.
We all need that balance of feminine and masculine energy for us to thrive
It plays a very big role.
Very, very big role. Yeah.
I think, we've seen how, like, the role that your dad plays, like, and, you instill discipline, like, in kids at a very young age.
Yeah.
And then before they get to adolescence or something. But there's a way a dad will address, like, the kid. There's a way mom will address the kid. And that balance is what makes it special.
Fact.
Because, your mom will be here like, baba, nini, nini. And then the dad will be like, no, Ibu, let him, let's go. We walk outside, we play, nini, nini. But so now if he grows with the cuddling completely. And I saw this, like, even when we had the protests. A lot of single moms lost their sons. A lot. There's nothing wrong with protesting. But me as a dad, if I know, hey, I saw on TV like, like a lot of people died yesterday, telling you like, you chill up with you're not going anywhere.
Yeah, true.
But so now it's like, Baba, just go. Nisawa. He's
and
not
do what
coming
you
back.
want.
He's not coming back in the evening. He's not coming back.
Yeah.
But you see, like, if there's a balance of two, like there's one person who'll be like, mama, no, like, he can't go today. It's a bit dangerous. And it's very tricky because, like, even when the protests were happening, it started off like as a group of so many different age groups of people.
Yeah.
But if you notice, by the time it was the third day, a lot of millennials were not in those marches.
True.
It was a lot of young people.
Yeah, a lot of Gen Zs.
And a lot of young people lost their lives. A lot. So maybe, as we look at things, okay, for me, first of all, I'm not dying for this country. But I heard a lot of Gen Z saying like, yeah, I'm ready to die for my country. I'm like, what?
It's not worth
I'm
it.
like, I was protesting with you guys. And then you said, no, I'm not ready to die. No. I want to live tomorrow. I want to enjoy. I just see how and then there are so many different ways of approaching, even like just leadership. Understand if you're fighting for something, wouldn't you want to be here maybe in the next 10 years to enjoy it?
Enjoy it, yeah, for real.
Yeah, don't you want to get to drive that car maybe in the next 5 years, 4 years?
I do.
But if you're not here anymore, you don't get to drive it.
Fact.
Yeah. That relationship you might never get to experience. And it was so unfortunate because, but, again, I wouldn't have the script on how we're supposed to control this country and the outcomes that might come from that.
Yeah.
Also, so another thing that we can talk about before we wind up, because can you imagine you've already clicked like 1 hour, 30 minutes?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I haven't.
But so far, how are you feeling about the podcast?
Hey, amazing. I feel like I'm gaining a lot. And this is a very, very good experience, genuinely. I love the conversation that we're having because we're speaking on topics that are actively going to help somebody who is going to listen to us for real.
Yeah.
And I hope it's going to change something, even if it's in the slightest percentage, because kwanza about the male empowerment, we really need to have more of that.
Yeah.
Real.
And even on that, as now before we branch on to something different, I was trying to tell people, like, even with such incidents, I don't know if people have noticed, like in the States when they catch like these serial killers, they catch people who've raped women, sexually abused children and stuff, they interview them. I don't know if you've...
I have.
You've
I heard
noticed
there's
that?
this recent one. This person was saying that he looks if the father is not there.
The child predator.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The
Said if the
predator-
present father
is
is
the father is
50-50,
not yeah.
that's where
how-
he goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they usually like, it's not about beating them or anything. And I was
Mm-hmm.
telling people, you need to have, you see, like even the guy who was saying like, they had microphones on him during the protest.
Mm-hmm.
And then, when he said like, I'm going to kill a woman who needs pizza. And then women were like, no, talk up. And then they were chasing the guys. I was like, no, just talk with them. Tap into this guy's head. Understand why he's thinking the way he's thinking. Because, if he has sons, do you know what he tells his sons?
Hey.
You don't
same
know,
thing,
but
yeah, for
maybe
real.
you don't know. Maybe it's like akikata mpige mfanyia nini. Exactly. So you don't know, but talk to him. Understand. Bring him even like just in a formal setting. Sit him down. Talk to him, because at this point, we can't go killing everybody.
Yeah.
Two wrongs don't make a right. If they're killing and you're killing them, we won't stop the cycle. So let's not talk about it. Then people just keep killing each other. But if we're trying to solve a problem, then let's sit and find a dialogue somewhere. Think about like, okay, so why do you think it's okay for you to beat a woman up because like, you bought her pizza and she doesn't want your sexual advances? Like what exactly are you thinking like that? Because we also have to understand we are in Nairobi right now. Do you know the concept of how people think outside Nairobi? When you go somewhere like in Coast where you have mothers who are sending their kids to the beach to meet tourists and come back with dollars at home.
Oh my God. It's
Somewhere in
really messed
Northeastern
up.
where people are marrying off their daughters
Their
at
daughters.
12 or 13 in the name of culture.
To
Somewhere
actually
like we have FGMs going around in different parts of like just the country. And even just and it's so weird because now when you mix the clash of tradition and the law, is completely different. Culturally, there's some people who don't see anything wrong with marrying a 12-year-old.
Fact.
Yeah, we go to Northeastern, we go to those
Maybe it's
coast
something that is
nini.
happening.
Right now, it's been
is,
happening, yeah.
yeah.
But to them, it's cultural. So they're like, but it's our culture. So are you going to arrest somebody who's been growing up and their uncles have done the same thing, they've taught them to do the same thing?
We really have to.
Yeah. So if you don't have the dialogue, you don't know what's going on. But these same guys, if they finish high school, where they're sent to Nairobi Uni, JQuat, multimedia, all those things. See, because people are always traveling from different parts of the outskirts of the country to come to the city to get
and look for money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
To study and get more opportunities and stuff.
Yeah.
So now it's guys from the city who know about the rules, and then now you come with people who now believe in different traditions and ways of approaching things. There are some places where if a woman speaks to you in a certain way, you're supposed to slap her. Yeah. So if that person comes to Nairobi, Jewel is here expressing herself, saying, me, a man can tell me, and somebody slaps you, to you, it's so foreign. Paka, you're like, what? Guys, somebody just slapped me. But to him, it's normal. It's normal. It's been he's seen the mom being slapped in the house. That's just standard. It happens. So now, you have to, sorry?
Oh, no, just finish.
Don't forget your chain of thought.
Okay.
So I was just saying, so even when we're doing this protest, it's okay, but talk to these guys.
True.
Talk to this guy. Even the people who are in jail right now, talk to them. Why did you do this? Why did you do this? Okay, somebody has been accused of this. Have a sit down with them.
Yeah.
Put the cameras and put the same way you saw like that child predator video. In the States, they do that all the time. Even with people like, if somebody kills their own mother, they don't just throw you in jail immediately. It takes like hours and hours of like just, okay, so why exactly?
Why exactly did you do that?
Even a psychologist is sent in to like just understand like just the reason behind it. And that's why even at times there are people who end up like they've killed their parents, but they end up getting released.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to figure out like exactly, okay, what were the grounds? Like, was he affected as a kid? What exactly made him act this way? And even yesterday I addressed the lady who is still in Langata Women's. I don't know if you remember her, the light-skinned girl who's in Langata Women's, the current Miss Langata Women's
I have
a beauty
Let me
queen.
check it out.
Let me see. I want to see if I can. Langata Women's Beauty Queen. Langata. No, I think I saved maybe a video. If I can just see the picture, because we addressed it yesterday. Where is it? What was her name? Before I forget, okay. Let me just Google. It should be easy. Women's Beauty Queen. Beauty Queen. Yeah. So, her name is, let's see, let's just open.
Oh my.
Do you remember this story?
25 times. Yes, I remember this.
Yeah. So she stabbed her boyfriend 25 times. And she's been appealing to get out and everything. But you see, even with someone like her, you still have to sit her down, just talk to her. Because she's a very well-spoken girl.
But it says it's because the boyfriend tried to infect her with HIV.
No, that's just, okay, he tried. But according to the law, if he tried, he hasn't. Can you stab someone 25 times because they tried to do something to you?
And that is not reason enough, for real.
Yeah. So you see. And here's another thing that people should understand. Single people sleeping around, there's nothing wrong with that. Not in a bad way. Not to go against, the way you're saying, about sexual. Because let's not ignore what's happening in Nairobi as well. But now, people who are in a relationship sleeping around is always a problem. Because why? Single people will use protection. Couples, most of the time, even if you hear about infections, it's because they don't use protection. In general, couples might not use protection when they're, having sex. Yeah. So if one of the partners cheats outside,
it's because
and catches something, definitely you're going to get infected with Nini. So in couples, it's very sensitive. So maybe I understand where she's coming from, but still as well, even for her, people need to talk to Nini. Because how many other girls have stabbed boys also as well over the recent years? There's so many. These incidents keep happening.
Why was she given a death sentence though?
No, it wasn't death. Death was taken out of the picture and she was given life. So now she's still trying to... Oh, wait, so you don't think she should have gotten me?
Oh,
Aren't you the one who said if you were to given one rule to change something, you would be...
It would be to kill? Yes. But I'm just saying, I don't think that she deserves to have life.
You have a brother, right?
Yeah, I do.
Are you protective over your brother?
I am.
Okay, and this is very good. This is always very unique. I'll tell you why. Because girls at times, they never see a point of somebody trying to drive, treat men like this until you mention their brother. Now they start focusing on because you know how you like your brother.
Yeah.
And think about it right now. If let's say your brother told you hey, by the way, I'm talking to this girl that I like. What's the first thing that you will say?
I would say to him, first of all, respect that girl. Do not try and harm her in any way. Do not try and force her to do something that she does not want.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if my brother was the one in the position where he was trying to infect this girl with HIV and this girl stabbed him, honestly speaking, I wouldn't be on the side of my brother, to be honest. I wouldn't be. I'll be on the side of the girl because, come on, you have to have a little bit of morals,
Yeah.
I can't just start defending you just because you're my brother. We also have to...
No. I'm not even saying your brother in such a circumstance. Yeah. I'm just saying an example would be with now what you're seeing online. If your brother said you have just met this girl online and everything, the first thing you'd want to ask your brother is okay, let me see maybe his handle, her handle.
Yeah.
And then you just start going and looking at her profile and stuff. And I'm sure there's some certain personality traits if you saw in that girl, you'd tell your brother imagine, but I just choose an uyu, by the way, she's gonna give you problems, hurt you or something.
True.
But you'll just read into it much faster and tell him hey, by the way, this one, just avoid. Because me, I'm telling you as your sister, see, I know women,
Yeah.
you'll guide him in a certain way.
Yeah, true.
No. But if it's not your brother, you might not feel the need to do that so much. Like even for me, that's why I was explaining to you. I used to think I can care about everyone, but I was like, if you care about people online and people are like, Sawe ni nani, what are you telling me? And then you start thinking about it like, yo, even if their mother is not telling them like, yo, this is wrong, who am I? Their mother paid school fees, they fed them, they did all these things. They're not listening to their mother. You think they will listen to you?
Oh, I don't think so.
They wouldn't listen to you.
Yeah.
So it's almost like pointless. You can just guide people by putting maybe content, give your opinion, but following up on people's personal stories, it's a bit tricky. Maybe the extreme ones we're talking about, like the ones we're seeing like on Nini, go do like, I don't know if there's an institution or somebody who can do it. Just do those interviews and just figure out like how people are thinking. These people who find themselves in extreme cases, we see people in the courts, Nani was slaughtered, Nani was beheaded, like, people who are being chopped, their bodies chopped into pieces in like Thika Road. Was it Roysambu, like where the girl was beheaded or something by the Nigerian suspect, alleged.
It's in Roysambu.
It was around those areas. Yeah. So like when such things are happening, like we just need to figure out like why guys are doing things right now with those extremes. And when you go to the comment section, remember, you will know exactly how people feel.
Yeah.
It's always a battle of girls saying like, hey, by the way, men shouldn't nini, and then you'll see men what they're saying. Yeah. Like she deserved it. It's okay. We'll keep doing it. Nini. Or she was, you just know. And then you read such things, you're just like,
wow, what is your thought process?
Yeah, how are we supposed to approach this? Yeah. But anyway, that's just like my simple take on that. But how about you? What do you think about like just the rising cases of like femicides and how like people are approaching it, how women should approach it?
Generally, now hearing what you're telling me about tending to look at the thought process of these people and actually knowing why do they feel justified to do such kind of things, I think we could take a different approach. And instead of actually blaming these men and saying, men are the problem, let us find out, like, why do they feel like it is okay for them to do things like this? Why do they feel like it's okay for them to treat women like this? If we actually try and look at the problem from its roots, maybe we will be able to stop cases in the future.
Or fix it early with the young ones.
Exactly. And most people out here are suffering with a lot of mental issues, and most of them, come to think of it, they start from the home. And like we have said, if you don't have a father figure and if you're raised by your mother alone, you will tend to find. Funny thing is, if you do not have a mother figure, you will tend to search for it outside of the home. If you don't have a father figure, you'll tend to search for it outside the home. And when you go outside, you never know who you're going to meet. Not everybody who is telling you do this is actually telling you something that is right. Yeah. If we have people who are actually influencing these men in the right way and actually talking to them in the right way and actually teaching them like, hey, I know that you're going through this and this and this, but this is not the right way to approach it, because at the end of the day, you might feel justified to kill this woman, but it won't do any good to you. You'll just feel the satisfaction of, oh, I've offed her, but who is going to spend the rest of his life in jail? It's you, you know? So if we tend to actually get the same conferences that women are getting, the same opportunities that women are getting to actually let go of their traumas and actually talk about their rape experiences. Let's talk also to the men. Recently I also found out that men get raped too, a lot. And it actually builds a lot of trauma on their side. And men don't actually have these platforms where they can go and say,
they would never.
I'm a survivor. So we can start by actually building safe spaces for these men and actually having good mentors for them. Not that just mentors who are telling them, hey, all these things, it doesn't really matter. All that matters is money. Money is what makes you valuable. And having a lot of women. Let's have good mentors for these men in the society. And let's actually give these men the same opportunities we are giving women to let go of their traumas and let go of what they are going through. Let us also give it to men so that we can at least, maybe in the future, we'll not have so many cases of these things happening like femicide and and rape cases, if we actually could form this culture of having a place where men can actually go and talk. And it's actually men's mental health month.
June. Man, we don't focus on that.
You don't focus on that, but this is actually a very good month to put this.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, how many men do you see like online talking about? Because you know how the comment section is gonna be.
Yeah.
How's the comments? TikTok, people don't lie on TikTok.
Fact.
So somebody, imagine a Kenyan guy said like, okay, in TikTok, guys, I was sexually abused. How do you think the comment section is going to be?
Like, who analia nini? What is wrong with this one? But I really wish we could, the same safe spaces we are creating for women, let us also create for the men. Because they're human beings like us. I don't know why we tend to forget that.
And we're supposed to coexist. You're going to coexist with this person in the same house.
Exactly. Yeah. I really wish we could put the same opportunities we are giving women, let us also give the men. Because at the end of the day, even if us women we're going to say, hey, I don't want to date a young guy, I want to go date an older man. This older man, by the time you reach 30, this older man is going to be 70. Are you going to settle with that 70-year-old man? You're going to want to settle with this young man that you neglected while you were younger. And the way to actually approach this thing is not to continue empowering women. The same way we're empowering women, let us also empower these men so that we can actually also have good men to settle with as fathers in the future and as husbands in the future, So I think that is the only way. To me, that's the only way we are going to solve this.
I hope it gets to a point where this is something that can be taken seriously, just for the sake of future men, because like honestly speaking, even for like me, maybe already right now as a millennial, because I'm a millennial, I'm not Gen Z, I'm already stuck in my ways, but thank God I had like the guidance of like both parents, and it has helped. I can see how it's played like an important role in like how I balance a lot of things. Even like yesterday we were talking about like just domestic violence with the previous guest, and I was just telling her like I don't remember, because I don't think I've hit a girl before. I don't think so. But it's almost like, because she was talking and she was saying like, if a man gets angry, trust me, if he gets angry, he's gonna beat you. And I was like, no, I get angry all the time. Mpaka now she made me start thinking. I was like, have I ever hit someone because I was angry? And I was like, no, it's not normal. Don't think that. It's okay to run through different emotions.
Yeah.
But it means how you can be able to like control yourself. I'm upset. So how do I diffuse this situation? True. How do I relax and address it differently next? But I don't need to hit someone. Yeah. Because if I hit the first person, how many people do I have to fight in a week? You fight the matatus guy, the person who overspices your food, you'll fight with them. You will fight with literally everyone. Because everybody will just annoy. There's so many people who will annoy you in the 24 hours that maybe you're outside your house. And trust me, like fighting is just not an option.
It's not an option.
It's not an option. You have to know how to, the same way you've said, like if a conda comes and grabs you, be like, hey, niache. And then you move on. But if you carry that anger with you, and then maybe the conda who's inside, it's another different person who's going to, and then you get the person who's just now trying to touch you. I already upset.
I'm extremely upset.
Okay, you get home, maybe there's that lady who sells like, groceries and stuff. And then you ask her like, "Hii avocado imeiva?" She says, "Hey, iko sawa."
And then
you go home, you slice it. And then it's like,
this woman lied to me.
Exactly. How many? And then you go to your comment section. You see people maybe writing crazy things. Come on. So self-control is everything. So it doesn't mean because you're angry, you have to beat somebody up. So that doesn't just make any sense at all.
And I wish we could also understand that, like, men are human beings like us.
Yeah,
we tend to carry men like supernatural beings who are just meant to be strong all the time. They're not supposed to feel certain things. And I think this is what enables them to feel justified to do certain things, because, you don't expect me to come to you and tell you how I feel.
We always, we have to keep it inside us.
And it's not right. You people
it's not, but even think about how at times you post. I can see some of your videos and it shows like how when you're talking about something, you're passionate and a mix of emotional at the same time. But it's how you feel you're expressing it. And I'm sure by the time you click stop on that video, you feel a relief because I've let it out by the I've expressed what I feel. Guys, it's just here. So just understand, that guy that you keep pushing his buttons is just looking at his... Men are useless. They don't have money. Remember, they're just watching on TikTok. They're like, oh, man, nini. Nilikula fare yake. Girls are laughing, they're high-fiving. And then I'm always saying, like, sir, for me, if you eat my fare, I don't care. If you eat a G, 2 Gs, 5 Gs, the highest someone has ever, like, managed to squeeze out of me was 50. And I just said, like, God, you know what? The spirit of forgiveness.
Just
Listen. I've forgiven and I've forgotten about this woman.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, there's somebody you'll take their 5 Gs,
Oh my.
2 Gs.
And you wouldn't let
It doesn't matter. It will take a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. You'll even have forgotten because you ate fare for like 20 people. He will get you the 5th year. He will kill you. He will kill you.
True.
It's 5,000, but he has sweared upon himself. And the same thing I told you, like, you know, it's built in like resentment from kids, aunties, and all these things. And now with social media, daily you're called useless. If you don't have money, so you're useless as a man.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, you're useless. Kenyan men are useless. You don't have money, you're useless. So they constantly hear this. They scroll to the next video.
You're giving me a very different approach to the way I'm making my videos for real.
No, and imagine, so constantly he's heard this. And then maybe the first time he's vulnerable kidogos because Joel has said, like, man, it's okay, express yourself. You know, like a girl, treat her. He's decided to nini with this queen. And then she eats his fare. Yeah, that guy will kill you. Because remember, maybe he's not been raised in Nairobi. He's come from Uko. I don't want to say which part. Could be northeast, could be coast, could be like somewhere interior of Kisii, because we also hear Kisii, they can be temper a bit here and there. So it could be somebody who cannot control his nene. So, and he just said, like, even if it takes me 5 years, I'll get you. And it's so crazy because you have to understand, for somebody who's ready to kill you and go to jail, that's not somebody you're supposed to mess with. Like, that's somebody, if they stepped on my shoe, it's like,
It's okay. It's
yeah,
cool.
it's my efforts. I'll just go and wash or buy another one.
True.
But somebody is ready to kill you to go and serve a life sentence. Come on now. Me, I'm not messing with that person. It's okay, bro. You just pass, go. So there's some things we have to relearn, unfortunately, as adults. And maybe in our houses, we thought it was just normal. People fighting, throwing words at each other. It's very tricky. And I think as an adult, once you grow, you'll experience those in a job environment. Where maybe your boss, you know, he has to pay you for you to pay rent. So he's insulting you, saying this, overworking you, but you can't do anything because you have to pay rent. God forbid you have a daughter. Don't you have to, will you tell your daughter, like, today my mental health, aiko poor, I can't give, we can't eat mama today because my, hey, a kid is like, yo, mom,
Hey,
mental
what's
health,
wrong?
me,
What
I'm
do you
hungry. I'm hungry, mama. What do you mean mental health? So as an adult, there's some things, and that's why you see, unfortunately, even like, wait, did this lady pass away? The lady that I saw, what's her name? Something Wadok. She was a TikToker.
Yeah.
She actually died.
Yeah, she actually died.
But you see, like, the repeated videos that she was doing, and she was talking about death, stress,
she's not gonna...
depression, and everything. But, you know, we see certain things come to life, and then we just, like, she's left a kid behind. You know, leaving a pointy kid behind in these streets of TikTok, and no dad, and the mom who loved her clearly, but she was troubled. She's not there anymore.
It's going to be tough.
It's going to be very confusing and tough for her.
Yeah.
Because you can actually see she really did genuinely love her daughter. And how the daughter, they were just playing around on video, and then you're just like, fuck, your mom is just gone like that. Just think about, like, what she has to process and go through for the rest of her life.
Yeah.
And watching her mom's videos on TikTok.
Wow. I can't imagine how that girl is going to be feeling for real.
That's a whole different, and that's why at times, even when you say, like, your life is difficult, look at what other, and these things we've seen them processing. You know, even Shira, we saw him from, like, just normal, getting to extremes until his death. And it's like a reality show that we're watching on TikTok. And you just, oh, Nani's not there anymore. No. They're gone. So, I mean, just live your best life, be careful, mindful, but just think about how you're approaching things.
Yeah, true.
Okay, so now, last topic we have to touch on, because I'm saying we're almost clocking 2 hours already.
Oh,
And it doesn't feel like 2 hours,
it
right?
doesn't. I'm really enjoying the conversation.
Okay, so now we also definitely have to talk about, melanin queens and light-skinned babes. We have to touch on it, because it comes with a lot of passion. And even me, I was just watching your video. Let me see if I can play the video. And it's just like, hey. Well, okay, let me see. Where is it? Find it and I can play it. It would be nice. Where is it? I want to find the right video.
Here are some facts about fake light skin with your raw chicken looking ass. Now that umeshindwa kunitusi na facts, here are some facts about yourself that you probably cannot see because I think umetumia hizo lightening creams zako sana hadi haujioni. Sasa kunuka maziwa ndio kufanya nini? Because from the observation I'm making, only 2 of us is even trying to look like that milk. And you have overdone it so much that you're not even looking like milk anymore. Unakaa kama maziwa imeharibika, imeganda, ikaoza.
Okay, now, that's just a small segment so that maybe, in case you forgot what you said, just reminds your memory a bit.
Yeah.
And also just now for this one.
I want to apologize. Not really apologize, but say thank you. A big thank you to you. I was not fighting you. I was saying those things because I needed to draw your attention. Because through you, I will get a lot of traffic to my page for my skincare products, okay? And that is good for me.
So just that's just context for people who are watching you. Of course, the whole story, you can just watch it like on TikTok and then. But where did this come from? Because I know, like, still again, the two of you, regardless, light-skinned babes and melanin babes will always still, they're here to stay. We'll have to coexist, right?
Have to coexist.
But where does the extreme beef come from with just even the two conversations? Because like even for you, you're very angry in that video. And here in person, you're just a sweet girl. You're just chill, you're smiling. In fact, even with all the topics, there's nothing that has pushed you in a way that you are, I've seen you get upset, because you can address things like, okay, sir, this is the way you approach, and you have a conversation. What made it get to that point? And then we can talk about like just even light and dark skin.
Okay, the reason as to why actually I got so angry is because I made the first video I made, it was like propaganda I'm not falling for as a Kenyan girl, because we've always been told that in Kenya you have to be light skinned, so if you're dark skinned you have to bleach so that you can get certain opportunities. And she's one of the largest sellers of that mkorogo, and I said,
she is?
Yeah, she is.
Okay.
So instead of saying bleaching, I said kuntanzola, so even before,
What does that mean?
Kuntanzola, to bleach your skin, to lighten your skin.
That's the term now.
Yeah, because she usually comes and says, hey, nauza mkorogo, I sell lightening creams, come and buy. So it's like, why are you getting angry when I mention you in a space where you are actively selling this product? So she attacked me and she said, mnanuka, mmetoka msituni. I'm like, wait, I did not even attack you or your lips. I only came for your business, which you publicly advertise. So why would you feel the need to come and abuse me? And that was when I was like, oh, okay. So you're telling me all these things because I am dark skinned. And that was when I felt the need to come and clap back. And immediately I clapped back. She was like, hey, Joel, I'm very sorry I used you to attract. I'm like, there is no way you can come and tell me you're using me to attract traction for your business. While I already mentioned it in the first video by saying kuntanzola. So automatically when people think of lightening the creams, they come to you. You are Ntanzola, right? I already gave you that platform. So don't come and tell me that you wanted to gain audience for me. I already gave it to you. That's why I used your name and you got mad for it,
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I was just like, at least now I know not to get angry immediately when somebody comes for me and my looks, because I'm usually like so defensive, especially the way she had put it out. Mnanuka mmetoka msituni, hamna akili, and also her sister is coming and telling me the way I don't have money. So I got pretty mad, But it wasn't anything to attack the babes who bleach and everything. I was just saying, if you're dark skin, please do not be pushed by this notion that you have to lighten your skin in order to get certain opportunities. You have to lighten your skin in order to be considered beautiful. You're already beautiful the way you are, you know. These people are only using this notion to sell for you their product. So do not fall for it. That was all I was saying.
Yeah.
And she took it so negatively. So, yeah.
But what's your opinion on like just people who lighten their skin? Do you think there's something wrong with them psychologically?
I genuinely feel yes, there is. I really, if the only reason as to why you would feel the need to want to change your entire self-being is, number one, if you are not comfortable with the way you are, you're not comfortable with the way you're looking. And you know, the saddest thing is these people are trying to put it in a way that, oh, you know, it's society that is pushing us to be like this, but the same society has dark-skinned women who are prospering and actually achieving and getting these things that you claim to be getting when you lighten your skin. So just take you don't want to take accountability for the fact that you genuinely do not like yourself and you're pushing it onto other people, because it has never been a beef between light skin and dark skin. These babes who are originally dark skins are the ones who go lighten the skins and come and tell people the way, hey, dark skin is so bad, as they sell their products. This is actually something that they do, and tell you, if you want to attract rich men, a certain caliber of men, come, I buy for you my products. And you guys are actively spreading this dark skin hate because you want to make more money, and it is not right. So that is what I am standing against. You know, if you want to sell your product, sell it without putting down the other skin color. Do not sell your insecurity. If somebody wants to lighten their creams, let them come, but do not force it. Do not put an insecurity in them. Until you're dark skin, you're ugly, come and buy my products. No.
True.
Yeah, that
because
is what I was standing
we
against.
do have a lot of young girls who are very impressionable. Again, so social media is very... I kept on saying that, you know, how comes people are influenced by anything that people say on social media, until I started like interviewing like a lot of young and Gen Z people. And social media plays a very big role in their lives. Anything somebody says, like somebody they look up to and everything, if they hear you say something, they do take it seriously. So I'm thinking if like there's a trend of people saying like light skin is better, more opportunities. But I have had girls who are light skin on the podcast, but I'm saying natural light skin. They did say like a lot of opportunities fell in their lap because they were light skin. But would you say like in your life, or you seeking different opportunities, even maybe when it's acting, have you found like maybe girls who are with a lighter skin tone pass or get auditioned to like get better opportunities, job opportunities, or it's just all level?
Personally, I have not had like I've not been in a position where a light-skinned girl has been taken because of her complexion and me have been left out, you know, because most of the places where I go look for opportunities, I go look for opportunities in places where I know they will look at my talent, they will recognize my talent, something other than just my looks, you know. And if I go to a place and I actually find out that they're picking people off their personalities, I'll be like, I am most definitely going to be in the wrong place, because what do you mean you're not interested with what I am going to offer? You're only interested in my looks. And automatically for me, that is a win for me, because I've just lost something that is not going to benefit me. These people are only keeping me because of the way I look, not what I offer, you know. So to me, I don't even think it's a problem. And if I ever get to be in a position where I'm going to be taken or I'm going to be preferred because of the way I look and not because of what I offer, I am going to ask myself a lot of questions, because there is where cases like sexualizing or female sexualizing of the female is going to come in, you know, because I've had opportunities where I've been given an opportunity by a man, and this man has not given me this opportunity because he thinks I'm good enough. It's because I look good in his eyes, you know. And when he gives me that opportunity because of the way I look, he will expect me to submit to him in some kind of way, you know, because alinichagua juu ya venye ninakaa. And that is something that, that is very uncomfortable to me, because if it is work, let it be work, you know. True. Let it just be work.
Do you go on holidays? Have you ever been to like on the coast TV and just stroll by the beach?
Yeah, I have.
What kind of guys approach you?
What kind of guys approach me? I've never really taken note like I usually get approached by a certain kind of guy, of a certain type of guys. If a guy approaches me, I'm just like, hey,
White guys.
white guys, yeah, white guys, light skinned guys, dark skinned guys, yeah.
Also, like you don't have like a lot of white guys like approaching you. You know, they like that melanin, tall.
Oh, there are like white guys, old white guys. Even
Yeah.
you're wondering like, hey, what's
Yeah.
wrong? You know?
So you know their fetish, you know.
Yeah,
You are a walking fetish for them.
yeah. But you know,
You're like,
yeah, but
that's not your thing.
it's really not.
No,
you know?
because I think now there's always a big contrast because we have these light-skinned girls who you will see consistently. Maybe they were saying like in the city, they're saying they're getting more opportunities. Like I don't know who said it. Like if you go to the club, it's light-skinned babes who are getting like priority for better seats. And Nini, I didn't download that video. I think somebody was addressing that as well. They're saying like light-skinned babes will get priority, nice sections. For promo, of course, definitely they'll get paid better. They'll be put at the upfront, and then dark-skinned girls will be put at the back. In acting, I was told like a couple of light-skinned girls would get like better treatment when it comes to like screenplay and such things. So I think it does bring like a little bit of course, resentment on both sides,
Yeah.
especially if it comes with affecting compensation again on both sides. But we have, if we look at the health aspect of it, definitely bleaching is, I wrote down like some pointers. It's not a healthy thing to do. I just see the side effects for bleaching, right? Skin lightening, like, I thought I wrote down like some pointers for this. Oh no, skin bleaching. Yeah, the side effects of skin bleaching on dark skin, especially on melanin. Definitely those products do contain mercury, which at some point, it might affect your kidneys. In future, you might get kidney failure, nerve damage, memory loss. A lot of steroids are put in the chemicals as well. Very bad. That's what brings like skin thinning. And when you're looking at people who've bleached, you can almost see like their veins.
The veins, yeah.
So of course your skin is slightly thinner.
Yeah.
Of course, if you get into an accident, just understand you're gonna bleed differently, way much faster, or such things. Acne, hormonal imbalance in such people will definitely, it's gonna be there. So if you're prepared to face like all those different things, but I think at the end of it all, even if you're doing it, because you have to maintain,
you have
so
to do it
it means you're
consistently,
consistently
yeah.
doing it. So health-wise, it might damage like a lot of, it might affect your health. Let's just put it like your health might definitely be affected. There's some people who might escape, but it doesn't guarantee that to everyone.
Yeah.
Of course, on the mental and psychological effects, definitely low self-esteem and identity conflict. Those are things even like, and like, of course, king of dancehall Vybz Kartel, he went through that. He had a period where he was bleaching. And he was interviewed about the same thing. And back then he was like, no, this is decorative and everything. And 13 years later, he was interviewed by the same person and was asked about the same question. And he said definitely he suffered from like an identity crisis.
Yeah.
He thought light was better. And now that he's outside, he's embraced everything and every part of him, the way he is. His hair, like even has like bits of gray hair, and he's like, no, now everything that's on me, I'm appreciating it differently. Because I have to understand that people who are around me, people who look up to me, are following me, like they liked me because I was just Vybz Kartel, not because I was light or dark. You see. And he has like such big influence in Jamaica. But unfortunately, when he went to jail after doing that interview, a lot of people did bleach because they were like, yo, this is the king of dancehall, he's done this and this and this. And they started bleaching. So Jamaica has a very big problem with bleaching. Nigeria does have a lot of...
I had even Congo.
Oh yeah, Congo, it's very Congolese. We even see the Congolese dancers here, and you can see their veins, and they always have like patches, and especially with West Africans, they have like very thick melanin. And so you will see like if it doesn't work properly, you'll still get to the point where it's doing like patches and stuff. So maybe depending with the lighting creams that they're using. I mean, I'm not expert in that area. We can maybe get an expert who can come and explain, how such ninis work. And also like another thing that people don't know, a lot of South African women do that. A lot. So I think it's gotten to a point where I don't understand how people don't see like, oh yeah, how comes guys in like, a lot of guys that we see in SA, like even the ones who do amapiano, they was just like melanin guys, nini. But their sisters, their cousins, and everyone else is like light skin. You think like you're just born, me, I'm born here dark, and then my sister and my cousins. So a lot of girls in SA, like it's almost like a thing they just do. Like at a certain age, you start, because the population of white people in South Africa, it's not that high. And the ones who are there, it's like they were really rich and they don't really mix with...
Yeah, they don't interact with the South Africans.
So it doesn't give an equal explanation to why you have all these light-skinned women.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't make any sense. So a lot of them, they do like a lot of skin lightening. So even your Akina Uncle Waffles, those girls, like a lot of them, they do use those products. But still, at the end of it all, just understand it comes with the whole identity thing and self-esteem. It's very unfortunate because, I mean, I'm not a woman, so I wouldn't know how it would affect somebody directly. But, like, I would call, that's why I call women and talk to them about, like, okay, how exactly does it make you feel? Because I have had girls on the podcast who, because they have a tiny ass, they were depressed. I'm like, hey, you're saying that? Somebody wanted to kill themselves.
Because they have a tiny ass?
Yes. Hey.
You're kidding.
Yeah. Somebody was on the podcast, they ate chicken feed to add their weight, which worked. And I was just like, girls are very complex right now with the beauty standards.
Wow.
So I don't understand exactly what's going on in that world. But I know if you're changing your image and likeness, it's definitely due to self-esteem. And understand, nobody could have done it way bigger than Vibes Cartel. He was telling people to do something and people were doing. And people would go out and do it proudly, and even tattoos. That's why you see like all this new generation of people who've tattooed like crazy. Even other people don't even know where it's coming from. It's Vibes Cartel.
Yeah, true.
It's Vibes Cartel. So that's how influential he was with like a lot of things. So the skin lightening, definitely psychologically, but I will have also like people like on the platform again who've also addressed and they've bleached. I'll still have them on the podcast as well and figure out like their approach, like where exactly made them feel this way and how they feel right now. But have you ever felt insecure because of being dark skin? Or even just, because now crazy enough, like, I'm looking at you, you have very good skin.
Yeah, right?
I mean, do you have special routines? Or it's genes?
Actually, I don't. I think it's genes.
Really?
Yeah.
You know who we have to thank for that?
The Lord.
And your dad.
I know, the Lord.
Dad, listen. Hey.
The Lord.
True. But have you ever suffered like any of those insecurities, especially growing like in the city? Maybe you saw light-skinned babes around Buruburu getting certain different treatment. They're picked up in cars, maybe, in any such things. Do you ever see them? Or did you ever experience, or even second guess a bit before you got like your full confidence? Like me, I'm melanin and I'm melanin.
When I was younger, I used to have this teacher in primary school. Her name was Teacher Catherine. Hey, I think she just hated me because I was dark skinned. So every single time she used to tell me, even when I used to take for her my books, she marks, she's like, Angalia kakeusi. I was like, okay, so this is actually a problem. Okay, no problem. And my mom too, she was so dark skinned when she was like me, and I think she bleached her skin and she's lighter, way later than...
She did?
Yeah, she did. So
Wait, this is interesting.
Yeah, she did. When you look at me and my mom is lighter than I am. And
Okay.
when you look at her pics when she was young, she looked like me. Exactly.
Okay.
And you know, when I was younger, I used to look at her pics when she was young. I'm like, is this the same person? Because when I look at her pictures when she was young, I'm like, this actually looks like me. Like, this is actually me. And at the time, I was like, maybe when I grow up, I'm going to grow up and be light skinned like her, you know. And I was like, oh my God. So this is something that people actually apply and become lighter. So I used to think like, hey, Kwani, why would somebody feel the need to be lighter? Okay. And at some point I was even like, hey, maybe I'm also going to start doing it so that I can look like my mom, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, no. And every time I look in the mirror, I'm like, hey, me, I just love myself dark skin. If I decide to even change, will I even look the same way?
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, I don't feel the need to do this, you know? And I came to actually speak to girls who have experienced colorism, because me, I've not experienced it. I don't know. I don't want to say that I'm too confident, but I'm usually too confident to the point that if I sense any bit of you trying to put me down, just me, I will walk away and it will never be my loss. It's going to be your loss. So I've never given it a space for it to affect me. But there are babes who have actually been affected by this thing. When you find yourself, you're in a friend group with a light-skinned babe, and this light-skinned babe is constantly getting picked over you, and it affects you, and you tend to start feeling like, hey, Kwani, what is wrong with me, and all of that. But at the end of the day, it's just preference, you know? You can't say like the entire population, especially males. You know, the one thing that stresses females is how the male is going to perceive you. And even when you listen to like these females out here, they might say at you, opportunities, it will make you get pretty privilege. Who is giving this pretty privilege? It's the men, you know?
Yeah.
So you're changing your entire personality for this man. You're changing your entire personality to please men. And the more I grew up, I was like, hey, you guys, men aren't the shit like that, the way you people are putting it. If you want to attract a rich man, Kwani, you don't believe you can be that rich man, you yourself. You know, if that rich man would pick you because you're dark skinned, fuck it. You become that rich man yourself, you know? So at the end of the day, I just came to realize like, hey, if this is something that is actively happening, then the best thing we can do is empower these dark-skinned babes, because not everybody has that confidence to understand that, hey, this person who is picking you because of the way you look, this person who is picking you because of the way you look, this person is not the right person for you, for real, you know? And you can actually get other opportunities by just being you the way you are, you know? But it affects girls. Even on TikTok, I come on TikTok and I open my phone and I'm like, okay, you guys, I just want to tell you the way I went to a club and I faced colorism. There's this story I read about. It was like this babe was saying that her friend had been invited to a certain party, right?
Yeah.
So when this friend had been invited to this party, the friend was light skinned, and this friend decided to tell her friend like, hey, let's go. And the friend was dark skinned, you know?
Yeah.
And when they went there, all of a sudden people are acting weird. The owner of the party is acting weird. The owner of the party is asking the friend, hey, why have you brought her? And you know, it's like, okay, so you only want light-skinned people over here. And if you have a very good friend, like the friend that this girl had, this girl actually said like, hey, me, I'm going with my friend. There's no way you're going to tell me that my friend cannot come at me because she's dark-skinned. So this friend left the party and she left with the dark-skinned friend. And this dark-skinned baby is the one who came on social media and she was like, hey, you guys, you know, I went to this certain club and it was like this and like this and like this.
A Kenyan club?
Yeah. It was. And it was like this and like this and like this. And like, it's just so sad if the way people have this mentality that light skin is prettier and dark skin is not pretty. Because, even in the olden days when the whites came to Africa, and they came and saw the kings and queens and their wives, they were black. They tried to convince them like, hey, you know, by the your African women are not beautiful. True. Our fair wives from Europe and the West are the ones who are pretty. But they were taking their wives, and you wonder like, why are you actively taking our wives?
They were sleeping with Melanin queens.
Exactly. Why are you doing that if they're so ugly? So it's something of the mind. This thing that beauty is just limited to skin color. beauty is just limited to the way you look. It's not true. Beauty is very diverse. People's preferences are very different. If God wanted beauty to just be one thing, light skin and having a big ass and having big boobs, God would have created men in the same kind of way and women in the same kind of way.
True.
But we are created in different ways. The way you are, there's a certain kind of woman who would suit you the way you are. The way a certain kind of man is there's a certain kind of woman who is going to suit that who's going to suit that man, So let us not let the preferences of a small percentage of people be forced on us, and then we feel the constant pressure of wanting to change ourselves because a certain percentage prefers light-skinned women. There are men who actively prefer dark-skinned women, and they praise dark-skinned women, So
what do you think I like?
What do I think you like? I really do not know. Maybe dark skin, I don't know. Maybe dark skin. Do you love dark skin?
I love everything.
You love everything.
I don't discriminate.
You don't discriminate. Okay.
Okay, maybe fat women, it's tricky.
Oh, fat women, it's tricky.
Not doing fat.
I usually say like having...
But it's not discrimination because I have a healthy living lifestyle.
Oh, yeah.
You will want, I have smoothies in the fridge, cucumbers, fruits, you'll starve to death here. I don't want to kill anyone's daughter in this house.
True.
So, and then, my lifestyle is slightly different.
Yeah, I usually say having a preference is not an issue. You might have a preference. The people who prefer who prefer dark skin, the people who prefer light skin, like that is okay. As long as you're not preferring it like saying, hey, dark skin is bad or, light skin is bad. The same way light skin men are usually told, like if you're a light skin man, you are weak or you don't know, you have certain characters that are associated to being feminine, of which it is not true.
True.
It's really not true. Let's just, if we could have these preferences based more on what people are bringing on the table, like mind-wise and not the appearance.
It has to be more than just
the appearance, right?
And okay, but I also think now that you've mentioned even some things, I do understand, like even the same way I've said, like even for young boys, if that's all they're seeing, maybe, you've seen, and I think that's why even like Diamond, where he is right now, it's good he has Zuchu, because at some point, and think about it, that's why even when people keep saying like, oh, it's light skin, babes getting all the, even him, see, he started light skin, who is he always with now?
Zuchu.
Yeah, so she's just chocolate girl.
Yeah.
No extreme features, no big ass, no big tits. But think about where he started. And that just shows you might chase all these things that you think will make you happy, but where does he find peace? Or this girl that's just playful, doesn't have extreme big butt, extreme big boobs, but she's just there, she'll do songs, she's always next to him, Nene. So just think about it. And I keep saying it again. At times, even if you look at the perfect, maybe examples that you've checked maybe online, I don't know. I haven't seen like a lot of those light-skinned people, girls who people keep saying like they're just extremely successful because like they're just light-skinned.
Yeah.
Maybe they have other traits. They're good in business and nini, but just because that you're light-skinned,
it's a lie.
No, because your business will fail, your relationship will fail. Family might not work out, nini. So it's not just because
of skin
if you
color.
just think you're just gonna drop nini some lotion, you turn light skin, and then everything
is okay. You can get everything in the world.
And then saying you're going to attract maybe rich men because you're light skin, I also don't understand it. Because if you're rich, I mean, first of all, can't you go to any other country where women are just go to Netherlands? It's all blonde girls, blue eyes. Like, how are you rich and then you're fighting for like one portion of women in a third world country?
Yeah.
And that guy is not rich, because if you have money and if you've traveled, I mean, you already know what's up. Like, me, I'm just saying.
You're just saying.
I haven't traveled a lot, but, just maybe 15, 16 countries. But if you like some certain type of women, and even this obsession with us, if you think you've seen us, go to South Africa. Go to Uganda. You think you like us? Go to those countries.
Hey, you will see us.
Hey. Even in SA, if it's Mkorogo, I don't know what they're using, but even if it's light skin you want, find it there.
Yeah.
No, if you want pointies or a mix, go to Brazil. If you just like light, just go to Europe and trust me. All the girls, they all look like probably dolls, like light blonde, blue, green eyes,
Yeah.
So if you're rich, how are you rich and you can't go and access these women?
Exactly.
Actually, you're the one who's suffering from self-esteem. It's not even the women. It's you as a guy. It's you as a guy. Because I'm guessing as a rich or wealthy person, you have options.
Yeah.
You can travel to any destination.
True.
Date any women you want.
True.
And trust me, it's not even that expensive when you're out there. They're used to like just simple dates and nini. Because it's very competitive. If that's what you need, everybody looks like that. Everybody looks like that. Trust me, it's so those guys that people are talking about looking for, those are not rich people.
Yeah, those are not rich.
They're not rich. Because if you're rich, you can travel. You can date a Brazilian.
Yeah.
You can date like, what's his name? This YouTuber. Even though he had some controversies. What's this YouTuber? I am Marwa.
I am Ara.
Marwa. Something.
Marwa.
Yeah. Do you know him?
No, I think I've
Because
heard
just
of
a
him,
small YouTuber started in Nairobi city and then started traveling different places. And you can see like when he travels different places, if you land in Costa Rica, just all women look like a certain way.
Yeah.
If you go to a certain African country, I went to South Sudan 6-7 years ago. You know how at times we always look at like just the dark-skinned runway models who are South Sudanese. Say like, wow, she's so special, unique and everything. I went to South Sudan. Back I'm asking my friend, like when everyone is a model here, because everybody looks like a model. All those girls, the girls we see on runways in Europe, all their girls look like that. Nice, smooth skin, tall.
It's true.
And then like some are even like 13 years. But height already 6 foot. 6 foot. Melanin. They're just chilling there.
Imagine.
So if like somebody was like a scout and saying like, I just want South Sudanese, just go to that country. Hey. Thousands and thousands of women, they just look like that. And they're just smooth, glowing, melanin. But you leave the country saying like, actually my mindset changed a lot after just traveling because now you meet so many different women and you appreciate women differently.
True.
Because if it's curves, okay, sir, curves, but your personality is good. Tall, dark skin, I respect. But like for South Sudan, they're just too tall. Like even for me, it's just like, I remember there's this girl, but she kept on telling me like, you're just too short. But she was like this tall, but so stunning, like beautiful.
Wow.
But I was looking at her like this. So she's just telling me like, you're just so short.
You're just so
You're just so short. So I was like, you know what? I understand. But, beauty is presented in so many different ways.
True.
But if you're wealthy or rich and you're a guy and you're exposed, trust me, it makes no sense why you'd be in a country where it's dominated by dark-skinned women and saying that you prefer
light skin. No. Yeah, true.
Does that make any sense?
It doesn't.
Well, if you have money, you can travel.
Yeah, and actually access the light skin that you prefer.
Yeah, like pick the lightest one you want. Just in Europe, you can pick the the ones that almost look like white.
Yeah.
You'll get it there. So why are you here?
Why are you here?
Why
exactly.
Are you here?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. People you don't have to change yourself to get certain things.
You don't.
What you really want will come to you just as you are. That's how you attract what you want.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I do have like 2 or 3 friends who are married outside the country. Super dark-skinned girls, of course, and I still appreciate it the same way. Exactly. So, and you can see they are happy. Somebody liked them for exactly how they are. And even not even just that, even friends. I do have dark-skinned friends who are just in good relationships and they're just happy. And their men appreciate in that way. So like even for me, I wouldn't look like it. If you're light skin and your personality is good and you're sharp, why not?
Exactly.
Melanin, the same way. But I wouldn't pick just because of complexion. That's the most shallowest thing that you can actually do.
True.
And still, again, the way I've said, my money doesn't leave my pocket easily. I can be vulnerable a bit here and there, but
not easy.
I've suffered for too long, so I'm very smart with my money. But anyway, like even just for the light skin and dark skin thing, I think people need to understand we're in a country that's dominated with a majority of dark skinned people. So don't feel like you'll be marginalized just because you're dark skinned. Opportunities are still there. The richest, the wealthiest person in this country is a dark skinned woman.
Yeah.
Please, give me any like top 5 that you can say are light skin that can compete with her. Nobody comes in mind.
Exactly.
So even the other ones that I can think of, like just successful in their career fields, Caroline Mutuku, she's never, felt the need to bleach. She's beautiful, gorgeous, successful.
Very successful
Yeah.
too.
And how many people has she like, outdone in that industry?
Very many.
Like even at her peers, like even if you picked like her peers, be like, who is light skin? Maybe there's one that I'm forgetting, but it's only one that's close. Maybe not even close. No, she can't even compete with her anyway. Rubadiri's chocolate.
Yeah.
No, still successful. She didn't need to do anything to herself.
Millie Odhiambo.
Odhiambo. Yeah. We do have like a lot. And I think, look at those people who you're saying successful. Okay, they're successful. The successful ones are these ones.
Yes. That is the real success.
Yeah. And it's not because of their complexion.
Yeah.
So just, if we're going with data and statistics, trust me, Melanin queens, we have way more in the country that are much successful. Yeah. So light skins are there as well. But if they're successful, it's not because of being light skinned.
Yeah, not because of
Because even if you're hired somewhere, they need you to perform. If I hire you in my company and you're not performing, it's just because you're light skinned, the numbers, if you're paying you 500 Gs, 600 Gs, what are we getting in return as a company? So it's just because you're light skinned, after 6 months, you'll be fired because the company won't get any value with you. So it doesn't make any sense because even career-wise, it might not get there. Even if it's a relationship, if you marry somebody just because they're light skinned, their character is not good, they don't have a good spirit, this is somebody you're supposed to raise your kids. It's going to be hell for you.
For real.
It's going to be hell. So we see a lot of dark-skinned women who are in marriages and they're happy. Light-skinned peer, and some are still happy. So, and some light-skinned who are still suffering. And, how many light-skins? Like, even if we pick an example, and everyone was just shocked, like, how can somebody cheat on Kibanja?
Okay.
What? How? Girls were crushed.
Right, for real.
And everyone was just like, come up, I'm wanaume, can cheat on Kibanja. And now Mimi, I'm like, yo, what are you talking about?
That,
it's not about light skin. Yeah, it's not about light skin.
Fact.
Your personality and how you get along with person plays a very big role. So you imagine if Hash was cheated on, so now you. If you are thinking light skin is like the only nini for like
that's your mentality,
happiness, how will you be destroyed, Sasa, if it's you? Hey.
But everything is in the mind, for real. Everything is in the mind. If that's how you think, then that is what is going to limit you.
Yeah, and I even have a friend also, and her, she's like Kwanzaa pointy. She has like, like 3 kids, and her relationship hasn't been able to work at all. At all. Yeah. Let me just see if I can. But there's so many examples online. So I don't think why people think immediately to just give you like happiness. But it's not all bed of roses. Like, she's my friend, but
Wow,
and she's
that's
always
beautiful
consistent.
babies.
Of course. But the nigga has just given her hell. And she's always talked about it like also like just online and everything. But she's a single mom.
It's more than just skin.
It's not just it's not just based on, you can't just, if that's the only thing that you're looking at, you might be extremely disappointed. So you have to click with people, figure out ways that you can mutually benefit from each other, but don't just pick. Because I also have friends like, as long as a chick is light skinned, I'm just like, you're just dumb. You have to pick and you can do those things when you're a teenager maybe, because you're not aware.
True.
You haven't, but if you're grown up now and you've started mixing with people in uni, work environments, internships, you've gone for job auditions, you understand performance is very,
very
important.
Very
important.
True.
So they will be,
Yeah.
I think I also said a story about me auditioning girls. We were doing like a Miss Universe thing. Couple of years ago, and I was doing like content for them, and I was interviewing all different girls. Like, what number do you think you'll be? Because it was starting from 100 to breaking it down to top 10. So a lot of different girls, and then we have like a section of like just light skinned girls, and they're just talking to each other alone too.
So I'm asking different ones, like, hey, what number do you think you'll be? I mean, making top 10, Nini. No, and then like there's this dark-skinned girl who was like, what was her name? Like there were 3 that they were just talking on camera, and I was like, hey, these ones are definitely getting top 5. And then me, I'm just saying it in my head.
Yeah.
So like, there were 2 light-skinned ones that are interviewed. And, the first one I asked, like, where do you think you'll get to, like, the eliminations niche? She was like, I think at least top 20, 30 there, I think I'll survive that. And then the next one said, like, me, top 3 is standard. She was among the first ones to be sent home. First one to be sent home. She didn't even want to do like because I was supposed to interview before and after. She was just like, no, I can't do it. I can't do it. She was among the first ones to be,
I wish like more women could understand in as much as we are always told beauty is currency, in as much as you're trying to like work so hard in your outward appearance, let us also work on your internal too. How you relate to people, how you think, how you just treat the person that you are actually matters.
Yeah.
That inner beauty that people keep laughing, it's always the ones with inner beauty. It's very, very important because that is what will actually keep something for you in the long run.
But you also,
short term.
I think also like, but even how you think it's different because you don't have those girl cliques. Because, if you've seen like even how girls move, like if they have a light-skinned friend, she gets treated a certain way. No, and, it can't get in her head. And she thinks that that's how things are supposed to function and work and everything is just supposed to be. And, like you said, like, okay, so maybe you go to the club, special treatment and everything. But when you start now, like, when life starts lifing, nobody cares about light skin.
Yeah, true.
No. You think you'll tell your caretakers, I'm light skin, let me be behind on it.
Bring the rent.
Go to Jose, you're sick, and you think a doctor will give you special treatment because you're light skin? No. Like, life is so interesting as you grow older, and you'll get reality checks that will leave you in places where you'll be like, wow. Maybe I should rethink a lot of things in my life. Maybe I should treat people way better. Imagine you've gone to Jose maybe, and you know how nurses are. You're being an asshole because you're light-skinned.
The way nurses can be mean.
You wait till you're in pain, and then the same nurses, you are treating them badly. They look at you like this and go. You're waiting for painkillers, If you want, it's so bad. So work on your personality, whether you're light skin or dark skin. And that's the best thing also. I think even with my podcast and a lot of different people, I have so many diverse friends. So at times when somebody's talking about something that I think it's not like, sorry to say that it's silly, I'm just like, okay, I wish you just knew. And I wish you get exposed to different things because it will change your mind completely. Even like when people are talking like online, I always say like, I wish them success so that they can experience different things in life. Like even for you, when you say, okay, I hate matatus, I want a car. I want you to be successful enough to have a car and have that experience and vlog about it. And talk about like, yo guys, finally my car, and you drop that video content and then exactly. I want you to live to those things and just experience them. Travel, I don't know. Have you traveled?
No, I haven't traveled that much.
Yeah. No, outside the country?
No.
Okay. But but here's the thing. You're still young. Remember, you're still young.
Yeah.
And let's not forget again, the pressure that you see online when you see girls traveling to different destinations. I hope you know how they're getting there.
Yeah.
I do. So if you know how they're getting there and you're taking your sweet path and journey, take your sweet and because if you want to travel next week, you can.
Yeah, you can.
You can, right?
Yeah.
And go to Diani.
Hey,
come on.
For real.
Come on.
As long as I'm ready to give something up.
Of course. You'll be out of the country in no time. But, again, if you're just sticking to your path, all these things will come into life. And then also like another thing, you've said also you going back and forth with like just when you're having like your heated exchanges online, when other girls are calling you broke, how does that make you feel?
I didn't feel okay. I felt it pinched me a little bit because maybe I'm not doing that much to get to the level where other girls are. But I remind myself like, hey, Jewel, You're
So,
20. Is it okay?
yeah.
Like, hey, Jewel, you're 20 years old. You're still working on your business. And it doesn't mean like you're not going to get these things that these girls are saying that you do not have. So constantly I remind myself, like, you're still in the journey. Because I've had opportunities where I could get it easy. I've had friends of mine tell me, like, hey, there's this Mzungu is very interested in you. Wants to take us to South Africa. And I'm like, okay. I turn it down. Obviously, there's sometimes I'm going to sit down. I'm like, hey, life is tough.
Yeah,
if I could have taken that opportunity. But then I say, hey, if I actually get the things that I want out of my own effort, it will feel way better.
Yeah.
Way better. So I just trust God that I am actually going to get myself all those things. And I know when God blesses me and I get the car and the house, whichever they were calling my house, a Kiberiti.
No, here's the thing. Okay, I remember I had this conversation about being called broke, because me, I always used to be the broke guy, because I used to talk a lot. I had a lot of things in my head. I'm doing trendy things and stuff, but I was just broke. So I remember, there's this girl I actually really liked a lot, and also she just told me, it's just because you don't have money. She just told me that. But guys get reality checks differently. If you're broke in Nairobi, you'll be told you're broke.
Yeah.
As a guy, daily, so I'm telling you, just scroll on that feed. In fact, I'm just like, how are broke guys living in this country? Because I'd be so angry. Because it's upsetting to be called that when you need. But here's the thing also you have to understand, just enjoy the journey, because being called broke is not a disease.
Yeah, it's not.
It's so temporary that people need to understand. If you call me broke, I'll be like, okay. Because I remember it used to break me a bit. But I remember I used to say, I never looked at people and say, like, why does Nani have this and I don't have this? I was just like, if this person is making this money, and these people are not even smart than me. No way. I know I'm going to be successful at what I do. Yeah. And eventually, things started just falling in line. And years later now, I look at it and I'm like, it's good to go through that journey. True. Because even for you, when you start achieving so many of those different things, you'll appreciate them differently.
Yeah. And also, I usually have this mentality that when you get something instantly, because right now, us young people, we want that instant kind of wealth. When you get that instant kind of wealth, it's very easy for you to lose it. But when you go through the process and actually gain it, you'll even know how to manage it well and better. So I appreciate the process for real.
I appreciate that. Trust me, that journey is so important, because you'll also appreciate things very, very differently. And then again, you're 20. How many 20-year-olds are successful in this country?
Not so many.
Are there any? I don't know. I always ask.
Actual success.
Yeah.
Not so many.
No, is there any though?
No.
20-year-olds who's successful?
No, not
21, 22?
There's this young Kenyan sponsor. Kenyan Prince, the one who does trading.
Kenyan Prince is special in what he does. And I'll tell people again, Kenyan Prince is not scamming people money. What he's doing is like how a pastor asks for money at the church on Sunday. Would you say Pastor Kanyari is a thief?
No.
Who's scamming people?
No.
So he's told you like Mbegu at 310.
And you actually give
and you give him.
Yeah.
So if Kenyan Prince is selling people signals for every end of the month, do $20, let me do it. Like I keep doing this math with people and I'm like, he's just found a unique lane of where like people will give him sadaka. Okay, let's say $20, we're talking about, multiply by 30, that's 2.6. Maybe let's say monthly he gets people like how many? 500 people from his Telegram group, even though it has probably 5,000 people. Let's just say 500 people pay $20, right?
Yeah.
So we'll just take the 2,600, multiply by
500.
Press the equal sign and see the total.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's not stealing money from everyone. He's selling a lifestyle, and you guys are contributing to his lifestyle, and that's the only thing he can do.
Yeah.
Again, he's just living his best life.
Wow.
That's all he's doing. And this is, you're not stealing, you're not breaking in anyone's house, you're not putting chele on anyone's drink or nini.
Yeah.
So it's just the same thing he's doing. But if he can make this in 1 month, and next month maybe make this, or even maybe half of this.
Yeah.
And then let's say instead of 500, it's 250 people. That's still half of this.
Oh.
Just think about like monthly, consistently you get this. Isn't that like money to just show the lifestyle that he's living?
Yeah, it is.
So without doing anything crazy, he can make this.
Yeah, true.
So you see. So imagine if 5,000 people were to pay him. That's 20. Just multiply that number to.
That's a lot of money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when he's enjoying life, it's just like, he's just using his brain, and it's as simple as
So
that.
he's in the bracket of like millionaires. And
He is. Yeah, because even the cars, if you just calculate, you can just like, for me, I can do quick math and say like, okay, he has this X amount of money. But I can say he's very sharp.
yeah.
He's very sharp.
Yeah, he seems
Because
like a
for
very
his
sharp person.
age, he's very sharp. But also for him, I would say he needs to leave the country.
For real.
Just travel a bit. Yeah. Because, again, there are a lot of things that maybe are making him unsettled in the country because
yeah.
he's still, because if you have so much money and you don't know what to do with it,
Bit.
you'll do the things that he's doing. But if he travels, just,
So he'll be more exposed.
to a
and
lot of different things.
Yeah.
He won't have this heartbreak. He'll be more chilled once he travels.
True.
He'll be more chilled. And you'll notice that's with a lot of like, the young guys who are getting to like that fast money and stuff. But if you travel, I guarantee you within 1-2 years, chilled. And you'll just be, because if you want to do something, just fly in the country that you want.
Yeah.
You won't be here in our local blogs, sijui controversies, sijui ya nini. Somewhere.
He was also in my comment section asking me nini inaendelea.
Oh, really?
For real?
It's like, what the hell is going on?
What's going on? You're a
see?
millionaire.
Exactly. But you see, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, even for him, especially for his age, he's very sharp. And I hope he doesn't find himself in trouble because being that young and that kind of money, it can attract a lot of a lot of wrong people around you.
Yeah.
And even one thing you'll notice about him, do you see him with many friends?
No.
Exactly. And that's why even when he was with a girl, it was like him and
The girl only.
But because that money also comes with a lot of responsibility.
Ability.
It attracts extremely crazy people around you.
It's so sad. Do you remember that
Crazy.
story of that young man who was also doing trading and he was like
course.
Kenyan prince?
Yeah.
And his friends, they offed him.
Yeah.
So
Easy.
you were saying I'm on the right track, right?
You're on the right track. On the right track.
Thank you.
And the journey is what will help you like now. Like when you start getting money, you move correctly. You'll just move correctly.
Yeah.
Because, you're not easily influenced by people. You're not following like trends and everything. So you will be able to like now, even the same way you're assessing people before you let them through your corner, you'll be able and be smart enough to know who to let in and who to let out.
Yeah.
Money attracts a lot of bad and stupid people around you. A lot. So even at times when you look at people who think about let's pick like just big socialites maybe. Vera. Did you say her with a lot of friends?
No, I don't.
Huda,
No, I don't.
Rispa.
Not really. Maybe one or two.
Yeah, but even it's not like close
Close
friends.
friends,
It's
yeah,
just those ones of like
facts.
after a year they're throwing shade at each other.
Yeah.
Ambare.
The husband. Always with the husband.
Yeah, no, by friends. I'm talking about girlies, nini. Do you see them with girlies?
No.
Exactly. So you have to understand, like, you get to a certain point when you're in a certain journey, isolation is like almost mandatory. Because even what you're building, you have to protect now. You have to protect. You can't just bring everyone around you. No, if you have kids, you're just bringing your friends around you. You don't know this person, what kind of cult they were involved in, uko shags.
True.
Grandmother has been feeding them uko sijui blood from a lizard or sijui nini. People are crazy.
People are crazy.
People are crazy. So it makes sense. And even imagine, I remember, even now that you've mentioned Kenyan Prince, I remember there was this clip, I don't know if you saw it, like he had parked his car somewhere on the roadside. And then there's a guy who was like, si unipe lift mpaka nini? And then he was like, siwezi kubeba kwa gari yangu. He was like, I'll give you money, I'll give you fare, uende penye unataka kwenda, but siwezi kubeba kwa gari yangu. And that's 100% what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And even for him at that young age to identify like energy and everything, it's very important because it's very crucial. We've seen people getting killed for 20. Wait, which is the circle that threw somebody outside the... when it was moved because of 30 shillings?
Yeah, Super Metro.
Super Metro. Yeah, but I'm just saying, think about the amounts of money that people kill each other for. 30 shillings, 50, 100, 1,000, 10,000. But if you can be killed for 30 shillings, what do you think that person will do to you if they know you have like maybe 100 G's in your house?
Hey.
20 G's even.
Hey.
Yeah. What will they do to you if they threw somebody out because of 30 shillings? Yeah. So it's a very unfortunate, but also money attracts like a lot of different people. So even when somebody throws a shade at you, understand at 20, in fact, I'd tell you, enjoy being broke.
For real.
Because money comes with a lot of responsibilities. Yeah. It attracts a lot of wrong people who will be telling you all the things you want to hear. Jewel was never funny. Now she's so funny in the comments. Oh my God, you're so funny.
Yeah.
How come she's so funny? She's so funny. People look at her skin. Me, I like how she look at how she's glowing. Isn't that what you see in Majimbo's posts, comments?
Real. And
when she was in Kenya, eating crepes in her bed.
Maybe people used to hit on her. So
she's like, okay, bad representation of Kenya. Look at her hair.
What's wrong with this
girl? I swear. What the hell do people see in her by there? And people were hating her so much.
Yeah.
Because even for me, I was just like, you know what? Listen, I don't even understand what she's doing, but if it's giving her that traction, well and good. But I just don't understand what she's doing. But to see where it's gotten her right now, that's what you should look at now. Understand. That's what I'm saying. Like, understand. With her, how many friends do you see around her?
Hey, none.
Do you know any of her friends?
No, I don't.
Exactly. Exactly. Success and all these other things that people think they're chasing comes with a lot of isolation. Standard. Anybody you see with a big squad, that's not a squad. That's a lie. Or maybe they're acting because they're being paid by a certain brand or nini. But in general, you'll be very cautious around people who you bring around you because a lot of people will be coming with wrong and bad intentions.
Fact.
A lot. Because, we're talking about people who've been, I'm telling you, like people who do rituals, who go in different places. Told, ukienda kando ya nani, you can do this and this or put this in her drink. She'll love you as a friend.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think God has you in Gekwan I tell you, I'm not coming.
I need to just been like, it's okay.
It would have been my loss.
It would have been okay.
It would have been my
so such things, I'm always telling people, now if I go in people's houses, if you're fighting with your girlfriend, you're arguing with your dad, with your mom, and you serve food, I'm not eating it. I can't. Then it's like, hey, let's go to Akina Nani, and then you serve food. I just look at your girlfriend, I'm not eating that food. If your girlfriend is not happy, I'm not eating that food. Doesn't matter if she's the best person to cook chapos or nini. I'm not touching that. I do not know what kind of rituals you do in this fucking house. I don't know the energy that's moving around. Yeah. So I'll starve, I'll have my water somewhere, sip kidogo. If it's water you're giving me, it has to be hot water. And I have to see other people sipping kwanza. I'm not drinking it alone. So such things. But I'm just saying, like, also with wealth comes a lot of big responsibilities, attracts a lot of the wrong people. And also, most importantly, you have to learn how to manage it. Because again, we've seen a lot of successful people we thought that were successful, and now they're having like a lot of money issues. Popular, I'm putting it out there because already people know, like even Aziad, back and forth, this person money, because chasing a different lifestyle to impress people, when she could have just enjoyed, like, what she's getting, stay in a simple house, stack your money up, buy whatever you need to buy, travel, and just remain stress-free. But, if you're chasing like a lot of wrong things because of even maybe the comments, people are like, hey, I want to see you here, I want to see you here. Because I remember I was posting like my apartment transformation and just how I was doing everything. And then once I finished, I remember like I started seeing comments like, can we get like another different apartment transformation? Like, are you dumb? Hey. Am I supposed to move to a different house?
Because you asked.
And decorate for you. For your amusement. But I'm like, what's wrong with people? And there was so many people. It's like, what next? I'm like, the house is done. That's
you
it.
Can chill.
Yeah. And the bedroom, you're not seeing it. Every other place you can see. But, I was just like, it's so interesting. So just try and maintain whatever you're doing, stay in your course, because like there's so many other things that are special waiting for you there. Because with your generation, I can't say I know what you guys are going through, but any person who's like unique and they just following like their own calling, it's good. So even like when I was asking you like, why don't you have friends here and here, it's just like just picking your brain to see how you're functioning, but it's not abnormal.
Okay.
A lot of successful people have to isolate themselves. You don't see Elon Musk with a squad of friends like just taking shots today. No, even him and Trump now, they're not getting along, but they were friends last week. Even Trump, do you know any of his friends?
No, I don't.
Exactly.
I only see Melania on his
Yep.
back all the time.
Exactly. And maybe just other people you see around him, maybe it's just because of work. But ideally, if you're on the road to success or you might have to isolate yourself. And it's so with so many just watch any successful. Do you know Caroline Mutoko's friends?
I don't.
Rubadiri?
I don't.
Any successful woman, just pick. Maybe because if we're picking women, I can think. Bien is being managed by the girlfriend, right?
Yes.
Do you know the girlfriend's friends? Have you ever seen her with friends?
I have never seen her with friends.
Oh, there you go. So when you see people saying, girl is bestie, nini, just,
Look
don't envy it.
Yeah.
But unless, of course, doesn't mean you can't fall into nini. Once you also get into your right path, you'll attract people who you have common things with. So that when you're saying things, they don't look at you weird. When you're doing your videos, they don't think, this person is crazy. Because you can imagine me, even when I was doing like 2 vlogs and stuff, and all my friends are in accounts, doctor, lawyer. Like, what the fuck is he doing? Why does he have his camera out always? But 10 years later, now they understand. They're like, oh,
this is what this guy was
now
doing.
it makes sense.
Yeah.
Now it makes sense. So just take your path, stick to it, but you'll go places. You're good. You're okay.
Thank you.
Very young, opinionated, and very sharp.
Thank you.
And tall and beautiful.
Thank you.
So don't let anyone steal that shine from you.
I won't. Thank you so much. Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much for having me. This is such an amazing podcast. Like, hey, this will be like one of the top 10 podcasts that Kenyans should be listening to.
No, that's not what people like. People like,
People like people who lie to them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, what do men like? What do women? But that's not reality of life, you know. So even with my podcast, I've done it for over like probably 6 years. And I'm always saying, like, even with the audience that I have, I want people who understand what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I don't just want 100K views, 200K views just because of Nini. And even if you notice, like, there are so many other things I would have thrown in this conversation or the podcast to make it controversial.
But you didn't.
That's not my intention. No. It's just like, let's just talk, get to know each other, and maybe after a year, you look back at this when we're doing like maybe part 1, you're like, Maze, remember what we talked about here? Turn to this, turn to this.
Yes. I would really love to be a guest again. Please,
Yeah.
guys.
We'll definitely
ask for him to bring me again.
We'll make it happen. So if you have any other questions that maybe you want her to address maybe on the next episode, let me know.
Yeah.
Because ideally I post like my episodes after a couple of months, but I think yours will be important for me to drop it almost like immediately, just because of the conversations.
Yes.
And then it will also align and help other episodes as well.
Yeah.
Because of just the things that you address, and it makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
Yeah. So I do record. If I was to drop this according to my program, it would drop next year, August.
Oh, I would feel so bad.
I have people who are not talking to me now because I'm dropping the episodes now. Because they're like, what the fuck, how are you dropping? But I told them, and then they thought like, maybe he's joking. No, I really do shoot a lot in advance. So like this week I've recorded 4 already, plus yours, it's 4.
Wow.
And I only drop 1 episode per week. So it can tell you like how much episodes I accumulate like in a month.
So this is the one you're going to drop this week?
Not this week. This week we're already done.
Oh, okay.
So probably next week. I'll drop it next week.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I go back to my regular scheduled program.
Okay.
And then now my previous guest will be upset because like, so you dropped Nani's episode and you didn't drop. But it's understand it's an important episode also as well. And it just because of the conversation and timing of like why I called you.
Yes.
And then it will also assist like so many other following episodes to fix the jigsaw puzzle.
Okay.
So that means I can actually call you for another episode before the end of the year.
Okay, I would appreciate that.
You'd love that?
Yes,
Okay.
I would.
So we'll make it happen.
Yes.
So is there any advice that you have for like light-skinned girlies, dark-skinned girlies, Nairobi girlies, to just how they can conduct themselves on social media and deal with social media and still maintain like their personality without losing it? Because I think at times social media can make you lose yourself. You've maintained the same person who's like from the word go.
Yeah.
So what advice would you have for them?
What I would tell you guys is, number one, we know as women, we have so many pressures to focus on the way we look and just work on our beauty and everything. But one thing I would like to tell you guys is, in as much as you're chasing this outer beauty, also work in your inner beauty, work on your brains, and also don't just let anybody have an opinion about yourself. Always remember who you are, and please, there's so many things on social media, so many people saying a lot of things. You don't have to follow everything. Not everything that somebody is telling you this is right, this is wrong, you have to follow. Even if you have like this one influencer that you look up to all the time, please, try and have your own mind. Try and have your own way of doing things. Try and have your own way of thinking. And do not be carried away by trends and pressures. Please be grounded in what you believe in. Be grounded in the person that you are, in the person that you are in God. And everything will work out for you. Social media is carrying a lot of things. Social media is carrying a lot of opinions, but always remember that you are the most important person in your life. Always put you first before anything else, and do not do things that will harm you. And you're beautiful the way you are. You don't need to change anything to get whatever. As long as you're working on yourself, you will attract your value.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then now, advice for young men.
Young men out there, I just want you to remember you are very, very human. I want you to remember that your feelings are very, very much valid. It doesn't matter how many times society will tell you men are supposed to be like this and be like this. The more you are, what's it called? Is it suppressing? The more you're suppressing your feeling, the more you are building something that is probably going to affect you in the future. So if you ever feel the need to talk to anyone, if you ever feel the need of just wanting to reach out, please reach out and talk to someone. Not everything that you feel you have to react to also. And also don't listen to all these people who are telling you the only thing you have to chase is money, and money is the only thing that will make you worthy. Money is not the only thing that is going to make you worthy. If you don't have money right now, money will come, but just make sure that you are protecting yourself and you're putting yourself first in every kind of situation, and try as much as you can and build your mind. It will help you a lot. Yeah.
True. Well said. I wouldn't have said it any better. Okay, so now guys, we definitely hope you've enjoyed the episode and looking forward maybe to a part 2 in a couple of months. But I wish you nothing but the best in your journey.
Thank you.
Stick to what you're doing in a good lane. And of course, like I said, like on my platform, I just try and call a lot of unique people. For you to take time from like what you're doing in your program, I still appreciate and respect that a lot.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me here, for real. I have gained a lot.
You're welcome. So until next time, guys, tell the people where they can find you, social media platforms.
You can find me on TikTok at Jewel Kirstein. Her name is Jewel. And Instagram, Jewel Kirstein. Her name is Jewel. Yes.
Is there anything you want to promote, like business-wise or something that you're doing?
Yes, I sell custom-made tote bags and T-shirts. You can also visit my Instagram page at Tote Bags Jewel, Customs by Jewel, and you can DM me. My business number is pinned, and I will make for you anything you want custom made.
Hey, there you go, guys. Till next time, we have to say goodbye for now.
Bye.
Peace. Bye-bye. The Kisscapades podcast is your gateway to holistic growth and personal transformation. Together, we'll unlock the secrets to living a life of health, wealth, love, and happiness. So make sure to tune in every week and join us as we explore the essence of what it means to truly thrive. And lastly, show us some love and support in our social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify,
Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, basically all the social media platforms that, support podcasting will definitely be there. Even with the short clips and reels, you can find us there. And lastly, don't be shy with feedback, suggestions, or any questions that you might have in regards to the episodes or our podcast. It's the Kisscapades Podcast. Goodbye.